The Superdome in New Orleans, site of the 78th All-State Sugar Bowl. And tonight, inside, there's considerably more maize and blue than there is Chicago maroon and burnt orange in this building. But both teams trying to end the season on a high note. The Hokies trying to win a 12th game for the first time in school history. The Wolverines trying to win number 11 for only the 5th time in Michigan history. All the partying, all the preparation, and now it's all come down to two very good football teams, the ACC against the Big Ten. Virginia Tech 11-2 overall. The Wolverines were 10-2 on the season. The only losses by the Hokies at the hands of the Clemson Tigers. Everybody else they took care of on their slate this year. And were it not for losses to Michigan State and Iowa, Michigan would have had an undefeated season. Those are the only two blemishes on their mark. One comes in ranked number 13, that being Michigan. The Hokies of Virginia Tech ranked 11th in the country. First matchup between these two teams. That's what makes it special at bowl time. And both teams trying to uphold the reputation of their respective conferences, especially the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Frank Beamer made that very clear in our meetings this week. It's been a disaster for the ACC and BCS competition. They want to straighten that problem out tonight. Virginia Tech's 4th Sugar Bowl. And for Michigan this year, their first BCS appearance in the last 5 seasons. Just about set for the kick, but before that, the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to ask that you please rise and observe a moment of silence as we remember our servicemen and women overseas and pray for world peace. Go. And now, please join Xavier University professor and Basin Street Records recording artist, jazz clarinetist, Dr. Michael White, and New Orleans native, Broadway star, and TV's Mad Men actor, Brian Batt, in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
In a city known for its good times, and how much fun can you have? For the Hokies fans and the Wolverines fans, the fun is set to start.
know what you're gonna get in New Orleans. You can count on the culture, the creativity, and the class. Kind of like the teams with the key to the city tonight.
For Michigan's first-year head coach Brady Hoke, the road to the Sugar Bowl has been paved by the inspiring play of his sensational quarterback, Denard Robinson.
Robinson calls his own number, and he's going to score.
While Frank Beamer's Virginia Tech has ACC Player of the Year David Wilson carrying the ball and most of the load for the Hokies.
Mardi Gras, Dixieland, and fine tasting food. Staples of the Crescent City. Winning passion and pride are part and parcel of Michigan and Virginia Tech. Strutting their stuff tonight in the All-State Sugar Bowl.
You're watching ESPN's presentation of the All-State Sugar Bowl from New Orleans. And our matchup, the Big Ten and the ACC. Number 13, Michigan, and number 11, Virginia Tech, set to do battle in the 78th edition of this great classic. Brad Nessler with Todd Blackledge. Holly Rowe, Tom Rinaldi will join us momentarily. You and I have a lot of things in common. I think one thing that we definitely have in common, we love playmakers. Yeah. We got two guys that are maybe some of the best playmakers in the country in this football game tonight, starting with Denard Robinson.
Well, Denard Robinson, I'm excited because I've never got to see him play live. But what I've seen on tape or on TV, I really like. Now, first of all, as a passer, he's continuing to evolve and getting better and better as a thrower. But where he is most dangerous and most dazzling is when he runs the football, when the ball's in his hand. And it starts with speed. I'm not sure that there is anybody in college football in a football uniform that runs faster than Denard Robinson. And his first step is tremendous. So I am thrilled to watch him go to work tonight.
Had it not been for Monty Ball in Wisconsin, Denard probably would have been the Big Ten Player of the Year. We do have the Atlantic Coast Conference Player of the Year in this one, and David Wilson, and he's something special.
Well, David Wilson's got great speed, too. You know, he's a guy who ran for over 1,600 yards, averaged over 6 yards per carry. We talked about his speed, where David Wilson really took a step in his development this year, I think, is his ability to break tackles and gain yardage after contact. That's really the big step that he took. Hokie fans are hoping this won't be the last time that they see David Wilson in a Virginia Tech uniform. Some speculation he might go to the NFL. He only had 32 yards his last time out against Clemson. I know he's motivated to play well tonight.
I said to him, you're only 29 yards away from the single season rushing mark. Do you know that? And he said, maybe I'll get that on the first carry. For Michigan, after a 7-6 campaign last year, how proud must they be? Here come the Wolverines in a BCS game for the first time in 5 years. And the Hokies of Virginia Tech, for the first time this year, 2 ACC teams in BCS games. Clemson's got their date tomorrow night. The Hokies have their date at hand tonight. Place is getting excited already. You've been watching the Nissan pregame shift. First matchup between these two teams ever. BCS Bowl appearances, Michigan with 5, Virginia Tech with 6. We talked about the Hokies never winning 12 in school history. They want to make that mark tonight. Their 4th Sugar Bowl appearance under Frank Beamer, and Michigan 35th January Bowl appearance as the Big Ten and the ACC are set to square off. And before we kick, we go down to the field. Jay Strickerts with a coin toss.
Captains, would you introduce yourselves? Come on up.
Lloyd Carr representing Michigan, former head coach, now a Hall of Famer.
Representing the University of Michigan and Virginia Tech University in tonight's coin toss will be former Wolverine coach and 2011 Hall of Fame inductee Coach Lloyd Carr. Representing Virginia Tech University is former Hokie and member of the 1997 Green Bay Packer Super Bowl champions Antonio Freeman. Michigan, you're the visitors. You get to call the coin toss. All-State Super Bowl is heads. The M and the VT is tails. I'm going to put the coin in the air and let it hit the ground. What are you calling?
Tails.
He's calling tails. And it's a head. Virginia Tech's won the toss. You want your choice now, or you want to defer?
Yeah,
Virginia Tech's won the toss. They defer. You'll receive. Which way do you want to kick? Turn with your backs that way. Michigan will receive. Shake hands. Good luck, captains.
Wolverines will be on offense first. And their head coach on the sideline with our timer and only. Tom?
Thanks very much, Brad. Brady, you have a team that didn't go to a bowl game in 2008 or 2009, had a disappointing result in 10. How do you know they're ready?
Well, I think we had great practices, Tom. I thought all during Ann Arbor practices, being down here in New Orleans, we've been a team together. They've done the right things, and they've practiced hard.
Some defensive injuries to your front. How does that affect the way you try to contain Logan Thomas, Brady?
Well, you know, he's a tough customer to begin with, but, Will Campbell will step up. He's played a lot for us. Richard Ashe, Quentin Washington. We'll use them multiple guys.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
Let's go over to Holly with Virginia Tech.
Well, Coach Beamer, David Wilson has kind of been an energy engine that's made your team go this season, but in his last game, he didn't quite have the same effect. What do you expect from him tonight?
Well, we got to get him the ball, and, he'll do his part. We just got to give him the opportunities.
Defensively, you said that Denard Robinson is like Michael Vick and that he can affect the game. What worries you the most about how he affects the game?
Well, you think you got him and you don't have him. Then he's out there making a play, and, he affects the game the very same way Michael would.
Last, Coach, what will you do with your kicking situation?
Well, we're going to go with Justin Meyer. I think he's an experienced guy, and he's got the talent, and he's going to do a great job.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank y'all.
Justin Meyer would be the third kicker, if you looked on the depth chart a few weeks ago, for the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Well, the fun is over, and both these coaches have stressed all week long and in the 3 weeks leading up, bowl preparation wise, and told those players, this is a business trip. Partner, we're about to get down to business.
That's right. That's right. And I think both teams, we've talked about it all week, that both teams are highly motivated for this game. And very important game for the ACC from Virginia Tech's perspective, and for Michigan to continue to build what has already been a tremendous turnaround.
Myers got it teed up. Jeremy Gallen and Martavius Odoms wait on the other end for the Wolverines. And the 78th edition of the All-State Sugar Bowl from New Orleans underway. Kick only got to about the 30. Picked up by one of the up men. Michigan's going to have good field position as they'll start at the 35-yard line. And that means Mr. Excitement will bring it out, Denard Robinson.
One of the things that you worry about right away, if you're Bud Foster, the defensive coordinator, you don't do a whole lot of tackling during bowl preparation. And now you got a guy as elusive as Denard Robinson who's going to be out in space. How well do you rally to the football, and can you get this guy on the ground?
And Fitzgerald Toussaint with him in the backfield. First snap for the Wolverines from just inside the 34. And a fly sweep to Odoms. And Odoms got the corner. Got a good gainer before he's knocked out of bounds And we check in with Holly.
Well, guys, I can't understate how important this is. David Molk, the starting center for Michigan, is not out on the field on these first snaps. He was apparently injured in pregame warmups. I saw him talking at length with their athletic trainer. It looked like something to do with his feet. He kept trying to push off. I cannot tell you how much Denard Robinson relies on him for protections, for everything. This is big.
Oh, it is. Remington winner is the best center in the country, and the Big Ten voted him the best lineman. Denard Robinson, there you see, just trying to get the exchange, get it back to him, and get back to the line of scrimmage. Something J.R. Collins is going to keep from happening. A loss of 1.
Well, this is an awful lot to put on a new guy, and the first thing is first. You got to get the ball to the quarterback. Before you can go block anybody, you got to get the ball back in a good position, and Denard Robinson is going to have to do what he can to settle things down from his vantage point.
Rocco Corey is the guy snapping now with the Remington Award winner on the sideline. 3rd down and 6, and another bad snap. Robinson handles it, trying to get away from the Hokie defenders, won't be able to. And that was a horrible offensive set. And a lot of it fell on a guy that probably wasn't expecting to play a lot tonight.
Well, again, I mean, obviously he's nervous. The ball looks hard. The snap looks fast and a little bit high and to the right. And right now, Denard Robinson probably needs to get on the sideline with his new center, pat him on the back, smile at him, and take some more snaps.
Hagra punts. High kick and short, and fielded and around the 36-yard line by Danny Cole. So it was 3 and out for Michigan. Only a 30-yard punt in good field position now for this guy, as Logan Thomas takes the field. All 6'6", 254 pounds of it.
With this kind of field position and everybody expecting David Wilson to get the first carry, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little play action and a deep throw trying to get the ball to Jarrett Boykin, their big-time receiver.
Boykin comes in with 57 catches to lead the receiving corps. Danny Cole has 52, so they're pretty good on both sides at the wide receiver position. Right now, Cole's in a slot to the top of your screen. On 1st down, they're going to flare it out to him. He makes the catch with blockers in front of him. And the wide receiving corps for Virginia Tech, they're excellent blockers, and they help him pick up 8 on the first carry, on the first pass play.
Well, Virginia Tech comes out right away in the shotgun with their quarterback, 4 wide receivers, and a little quick throw. This is a confidence-building throw. Get it out of Logan Thomas's hands quickly, get him 1 for 1 to start the game.
DJ Cole's one of those wide receivers. Got a good block out there to spring Cole out to the 45-yard line. We're at 2nd down and 2. Michigan thinking about a blitz off the quarter. Thomas throws that way, and it's a 1st down and quite a bit more to Boykin. Into Michigan territory.
See, the problem that Boykin presents for the Michigan defense is he's a big physical receiver at 6'2", 218 pounds. Earlier in the year, Michael Floyd from Notre Dame, 13 catches, 159 yards. Marvin McNutt of Iowa, 9 catches, 101 yards. Bigger receivers have been a problem for the Michigan defense because they're not real big in the secondary.
Both David Wilson and Josh Oglesby in the lineup right now. Thomas in the gun. And on the fly sweep, trying to get it, David Wilson, and he loses yardage. As we take a look at our Virginia Tech impact players tonight. Obviously, the player of the year is going to be involved. Danny Cole, we've already seen him catch a pass. He's also their punter. And Jarrett Boykin with a reception here in the early going, his 58th of the year. They backpedaled, though, on that down. A loss of 4 by Wilson. 2nd down and 14. 4 wideouts for Thomas. A quick snapping throw. Got it to Boykin. 1st down and more. And that ball got there in a hurry, and Boykin knew what to do with it.
Well, and this was a good quick read by Logan Thomas. Michigan's going to come with some pressure, and Logan Thomas is going to look right at it. He sees the pressure. The ball's out of his hands. There's a void in the defense right there. Good recognition right away by Logan Thomas to get it to his leading receiver, Boykin.
Actually, that was Cole's. My fault on that one. 18-yard pickup. And down inside the 30, 27-yard line. So after Michigan was 3 and out, Hokies got good field position. And they moved it to the Michigan 27. That is Boykin in motion. Here's the stretch play to Wilson. Got the corner. Picks up 8.
You know, I was talking to Brian Steinspring right before the game, the offensive coordinator for Virginia Tech. I said, what's your biggest concern about the layoff in bowl prep? He said, just offensively, just rhythm. You know, the best thing that could happen is that first possession that goes 6, 7, 8 plays. Even if you don't get points, just to establish some rhythm on offense. They've got that going right now.
And they've got another second down and short. That's what you love to be in. Second down 2. Phillips, the fullback, the up man in the eye. As already the Hokies in the red zone. And Wilson will get the carry. And Michigan waiting for him again, but he struggles and fights his way for what might be a first down.
That was what I talked about in the open about this guy. The development of David Wilson as a running back. He's always had the speed. He's always had strength in the weight room. But what he has really shown this year is an ability to break tackles and gain yards after initial contact. This doesn't look like a flashy run for David Wilson, but it's an impressive run because he's hit behind the line of scrimmage by Van Bergen, and he just keeps fighting and churning for nearly a first down.
Almost half his yards came this year after contact. As they're going to take a look at this one, it's that close.
Well, this is Logan Thomas time.
Yeah.
Logan Thomas 20 times this year on 3rd and 1 or 2 has carried the football, and he's converted 19 out of 20. At 6'6", 250, I mean, there's no better play than a quarterback sneak.
As Mike Martin, the all Big Ten defensive tackle for Michigan, told us yesterday, all he's got to do is fall down, and he's going to pick up a couple of yards. He'll try to prevent him from falling down for that 1 foot they need here. 7th play of the drive. Third down and inches. There's a quarterback sneak and easily picks it up as he did fall forward for almost that whole 6'6", couple of yards.
So make that 20 out of 21.
Yeah.
You'll get a good push from your center and your right guard. James Brooks, number 68, kind of wedged in there. And then that big body quarterback just falls in right behind.
Now he's back in the gun. First down. Hokies at the Michigan 16. This time the option pitch, a little bit in front of Wilson, but he handled it. And he's still on his way down inside the 5. First and goal, Hokies.
Virginia Tech not a big option team, but they really kind of outflanked the Michigan defense on this one. Good job of Thomas anticipating the contact and getting the quick pitch out there. You're right, it was a little bit ahead of him, but Wilson still able to make the catch. And the key to running the option and being good on the perimeter is your wide receivers have to block. And that time, DJ Coles, number 18, got a big block on the edge.
He's had 2 good ones on this drive already. Hokies first and goal on their opening drive of the first quarter. Wilson. Michigan got penetration. Now he's trying to head the other way, and he's going the wrong way, and he's going down way back near the 30-yard line. Jake Ryan tracked him down.
Well, that's a big play by the Michigan defense. I mean, it started with penetration and then good pursuit to the football. Craig Rose, the guy who's going to get the first penetration, number 88. He's the one who alters the course of David Wilson. And then Jake Ryan gets the tackle, but the quick penetration by Rowe and then a bad decision really by David Wilson.
All the way back to the 26-yard line. You don't see many 22-yard losses
on a run.
On a run. That's an empty set for Thomas. On second and goal, but way back at the 26, and it's going to get worse.
I don't think they got the play off.
Play of game on the offense.
You go from first and goal at the 4 to second and goal at the 31.
And that rhythm that they had going offensively, which was going beautifully, is all of a sudden going haywire.
Yep.
This might be another quick screen, wide receiver screen, maybe even a quarterback draw here on second and long.
Thomas all by himself in the backfield. And there it is. The first play of the ball game is this one. And they try it again, and they pick up decent yardage back inside the 20. So that was their first play of the game, and they come right back to it.
Just a quick throw. You've got a couple dependable receivers out here in Cole and Boykin. Get them the ball in their hands. You got guys blocking on the edge. That's just excellent job by the other two receivers out there, Davis and Coles, opening up a lane for Cole.
3rd down and goal. Right at the 20. Thomas, there's the quarterback draw that Todd was talking about. It only got a yard.
Yeah, part of the reason that play was not effective, even though Michigan only rushed 3, they were moving around before the snap and kind of changing up the look for the offensive line, so they didn't get a clean look on the draw blocking, and they were able to stop Thomas for a very short game.
Justin Myers only tried 2 field goals all year, both of 50-plus yards. This will be a 37-yard attempt. We've talked a lot about the kicking problems because of suspensions and an arrest. So here's kicker number 3 for the Hokies. And let's see if he can get him on the board from 37. That's right down Bourbon Street.
That's
Good
huge.
catch.
That's huge, I think, for Virginia Tech. Because of that uncertainty with kicking, to get his first one through could be big as this game progresses.
Yeah, the Hokies got deep penetration, but they had to settle for 3. The Hokies finish off a 44-yard drive in 12 plays, but they had it 1st and goal to 4 and had to settle for a 37-yard field goal. But they do have the opening points on the board. Virginia Tech 3-0 over Michigan. And the guy that hit the field goal, and as Todd said, I'm sure a huge confidence builder for that young fella. He's got it teed up to kick off. His first kickoff was a line drive that settled at about the 30-yard line. This one high and deep to the goal line to Odoms. Odoms not even going to get to the 15-yard line. Great coverage by Virginia Tech to bring him down. And the Wolverines will have their center back, and that's good news. Here's the call.
During the return, holding on the return team, number 83. Fellas reports half distance to the goal, 1st down.
Not a good start so far for Michigan.
No.
They've got their all Big Ten center back, and that's good news because their opening 3 plays had things like this going on. We'll see if they can get it straightened out when we come back.
ESPN College Football, the All-State Sugar Bowl, is brought to you by Allstate. Play the Allstate Championship Challenge at allstatechallenge.com. Gatorade. These teams have what it takes on the inside to win. Do you? Join the conversation. Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. And DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Seeing some great views of the game tonight, courtesy of the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, the All-State Sugar Bowl, where Michigan had 3 plays and punt their first series, holding on their kickoff return, and thus the Wolverines started their own 8-yard line here. But they've got their center back. He's at least going to take a shot at it. David Moak, their captain.
You know, captain, center, leader, emotional leader of the team.
And it's Denard Robinson going down for very little gain.
You know, this was a tough ask for Rocco Corey to come in, not expecting to play. And 2 of the first 3 snaps, it was low and outside. Robinson had trouble handling, missed up the timing, and then high and outside. And really a poor start for the Michigan offense. And so getting David Moak back into the game is huge right now for Denard Robinson.
Denard got about 2 feet out of that last carry. 2nd down and 9. Faked the fly sweep, wanted to throw a pass out in the flat, and now he's going to keep it again and maybe get another 2 feet. J.R. Collins has made a couple of big plays already.
The two defensive ends for Virginia Tech are kind of steady guys. They're both tough, rugged kind of guys. James Gale got to play the first down, and now on second down, the other end, from the other side, J.R. Collins beats his man to the inside and wraps up Denard Robinson. And again, the key is getting him on the ground before he gets that speed up and going.
Michigan, third in the Big Ten on third down conversions this year at 48%. They're going to have to earn this one. Third down and 9. Robinson, quick slant, and he got the first down. Completes it out to Greeny, and on third and 9 they get 10.
You know, Bud Foster told us when we met with him, he says, you know what, Denard Robinson throws the ball a little bit better than we'd want him to. And that's it right there. You know, when he sets his feet, he throws the ball pretty well. Good quick read. The ball is low and away from the defender, exactly where you want it on that slant route. And a nice conversion for the Wolverines.
Michigan finally gets a first down here, and they're still not at their own 20-yard line. Koger, the tight end, in motion. And now Toussaint had to break a tackle in the backfield, and once he did, he picked up another first down.
Yeah, it looked like this was going to be another lost yardage play. Antone Exum, the free safety, read this quickly and was into the backfield, but was not able to get Toussaint to the ground. And this was going to be a loss of 2, and a nice job by Toussaint breaking a tackle and turning it into another first down.
Todd, you were talking about Toussaint. The better he got as the season went along, the healthier Denard Robinson became.
Well, the last 5 games, he was tremendous, and he averaged over 130 yards a game those last 5 games, and that meant fewer carries for Denard Robinson and a healthier Denard Robinson.
Robinson's going to go long and intercepted. Kyle Fuller.
That's the 16th interception on the season for Virginia Tech. Kyle Fuller. Frank Beamer said he might be our MVP this year. He's played a little bit of everywhere. Did a great job of tracking that ball down like a receiver. See his eyes on the ball? Just like a receiver, not a defensive back. And a beautiful interception for the Hokies.
Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to watch the Orange Bowl, the Discover Orange Bowl, coming up tomorrow night. Todd Boyd, Clemson Tigers making their first Discover Orange Bowl appearance in 30 years. They'll take on Geno Smith and the Mountaineers of West Virginia, a team that won its final 3 games of the year to get their BCS Bowl bid. Discover Orange Bowl on ESPN, ESPN Radio, ESPN3, and also streaming live on WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app tomorrow. Coverage starts 8 o'clock Eastern Time. That last play was under review on whether or not it was an interception by Kyle Fuller. And we give you another look.
And the question is, did the ground help him catch the football?
And apparently
Obviously not.
They're going to leave it the way it is. Hokies. Jay Strickard's our referee. I'm not sure what this stoppage is about.
Foul on the play, only 11 players on the defense.
All right, we'll just try it over again. A do-over. The Hokies with a mulligan from their own 28-yard line. Play action. Logan Thomas loads and goes deep. Got a man out there, but he overshot Danny Cole, who had a step on the secondary.
Yeah, it was a little double move. It was kind of a stop and go. And that little second part of the move is what got him separation. Watch the little stop and then go, and he ran by him. But Logan Thomas just a little too strong with the throw.
And he knew he had him. A little bit too far in front. Brings up second down at 10. That's the first incompletion for Logan Thomas. He rides it to Wilson and keeps it himself, and Thomas close to a first down.
Well, you know, we're going to see both quarterbacks run this same play. It's a long, deliberate fake, and then it's kind of a replay for Logan Thomas. He can either keep it or let David Wilson run it. They just look different running it. Yep. They'll run the same play, and Logan Thomas, again, using that big body to pick up the first down.
Bernard Robinson on the sideline just hoping to get it back and have a chance to run. His team trailing 3-0. And Michigan's only got a couple of first downs to show so far with 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Here's a toss. Wilson. Ooh, big collision just inside the 40 and a flag down.
Yep. You know, one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Michigan a little undermanned up front. One of their key leaders, one of their seniors, Will Heininger, is not playing tonight.
Foul. Chop block on the offense, number 75. 15-yard penalty. Still first down.
Greg Nosal, the left guard, with the illegal chop block. And so that negates the gain, and it's a big one. Going to back it up inside the 25-yard line. There's a guy that Todd was talking about, Will Heininger.
Yeah, hurt his knee before they left Ann Arbor during practice, and was a big part of the success that Michigan had on defense this year. He, along with Mike Martin, Ryan Van Bergen, a couple senior leaders up there.
That's the key. A senior doesn't get to play in the bowl game. Really tough on Will, I'm sure. Logan Thomas, low snap. Again, snaps off a throw to Boykin. Boykin in some traffic, but a nice gain. Picked up 10.
One of the things that I think is impressive about Logan Thomas, because of his stature back there, he has excellent vision down the field. He sees over the defense. This is the second time in the ball game that he has seen pressure coming from the outside. He sees it quickly. He's able to look right over the top of it and deliver the ball right over the head of the guy rushing him, Desmond Morgan. You know, when you're 6'6", you can stand in there and see the field even with people running at you.
Second down and 15 after the big penalty. Empty backfield for Thomas. Set to throw again. And this one incomplete, intended for Cole. And they'll bring up third down in a bunch.
Big opportunity right here now for the Michigan defense. Third and long. Again, their defensive coordinator, Greg Madison, a tremendous job this year. Came from the Baltimore Ravens, where he coached a few decent players.
Guys like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, those guys, yeah.
Well, what a year they've had here on defense. And this is a great opportunity to get Bernard Robinson the ball back in good position.
Third down at 15. Flags all over the place.
Again, on third down, what Michigan has been doing is they've been moving.
Offense number 62. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
They're down at 20.
You know, they're only showing a three-man front, but they're moving, they're stemming, they're trying to mix up the blocking protection calls for Virginia Tech, and the movement that time by Blake DeChristopher, the right tackle.
Virginia Tech, 3 penalties, all on the offense so far. Now you really have to prevent Virginia Tech from getting a first down. They've got to get it all the way out, almost to midfield from where they are right now. Quick snap. Thomas, plenty of time, fires deep, and Cole's got it. Wow, what a throw and catch. And on third down and 20, they get 27. That's demoralizing for the defense.
Well, you mentioned the quick snap, and the quick snap really worked to their advantage because Michigan was not set. They were not ready to rush the quarterback, and the quick snap bought a little extra time for Logan Thomas. Look at these guys standing around here. They're not set. The quick snap fooled him, and Logan Thomas, again, with that height and ability to see over the top, beautiful throw to Cole.
And a first down at the 44. Michigan thinking about a blitz. Thomas may have changed things up. He's just going to toss it to Wilson, trying to get to the edge again. Last time he lost about 22 yards when he turned around. This time he lost 3.
Yeah, and he looked like he thought about reversing his field again and decided, you know what, sometimes the defense wins. It just goes that way.
So far they have been winning against him. Maybe not Logan Thomas and his receivers, but they've done a pretty good job on Wilson.
So far, it looks very similar to what Clemson did. No, he only had 32 yards on 11 carries in the ACC championship game. And when I watched that game on film, every time he got the ball, there were just orange jerseys flying to the football.
Again, long yardage situation for Virginia Tech. 2nd and 13. Play fake. Thomas hit as he throws. He got the pass away somehow, and he got it. Unless he's out of bounds to Marcus Davis. He is out of bounds. Or was he pushed out? Nope, they're bringing it back.
Yeah. Blake Countess, the freshman cornerback over there, was in pretty good position. And I think when he stopped, he realized or thought Coles was out of bounds. And definitely out of bounds when he caught the football. Countess was in pretty good position, one-on-one down the sideline.
His left foot's going to go out of bounds before, well, both feet actually, before he even made contact with the football. So now they had a 3rd down and a mile. They've got 3rd down and 13 here.
3rd time of the game they've been 3rd and 10 or more.
Thomas fires. I guess 3rd and long is what they like. 1st down throw to Coles.
And that is so demoralizing for a defense. I mean, you know, you play well on 1st and 2nd down. You get them behind the chains. 3rd and long. This should be a defense's down. And again, Logan Thomas makes him pay.
Talk about picking up some big plays on 3rd down in the 1st quarter. Virginia Tech has moved it down to the 34-yard line again.
The last 3rd and long, it was the quick count. That time just moving the pocket a little bit bought Thomas a little extra time.
And it's something he didn't like the look of. Logan Thomas will take a timeout. We'll take one as well. 52 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter. Hokies leading and driving against Michigan.
I'm Custis Rogers. Here's what's happening on SportsCenter right now, brought to you by Discover Card. Yesterday was Black Monday in the NFL. Today, a day of reprieves. Norv Turner will return to the Chargers in 2012. Owner Dean Spanos is bringing him back along with GM A.J. Smith. And Andy Reid does not need a for sale sign. He's sticking around in Philly despite what the owner called a disappointing 8-8 season. I'm Custis Rogers. That's what's happening on SportsCenter right now. Back to the All-State Sugar Bowl.
Virginia Tech has pretty much owned the 1st quarter. 107 yards and already coming up the 9th play of this drive and their 20th offensive play of the quarter.
On 101 of those yards, the passing of Logan Thomas. A couple lost yardage plays and runs, but 3rd and long has been the down for Logan Thomas.
The only thing they haven't established is this guy on the ground. And still haven't. Maybe a yard for David Wilson. Kovacs has had a busy time from his safety spot already in this game. So 2nd down and 9.
One thing they may want to try to do with David Wilson, get him the ball in space, maybe a little screen pass or a little swing pass where he can catch the ball out a little bit. Right now he's in the slot.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to put him out there. And now he'll come back in motion to join his quarterback, who's going to take it away from him and only get a yard or 2 on his own. Well, 3rd and long is what they want. And so far on this drive, on 3rd and 20, they got 27. And then on 3rd and 13, they got 13. So we're going to have to wait to see if they can start the 2nd quarter with their 3rd down conversions in hand. 1st quarter was theirs, though, and they lead 3-0. Down at 6 and another bad snap. Boykin, 1st down and more. That's right down Bourbon Street.
Right here in the All-State Sugar Bowl.
Where we head into the 2nd quarter with the Hokies leading 3-0 over the Wolverines of Michigan. Just a Justin Meyer 37-yard field goal in that 1st quarter, but Michigan's doing a good job on one of the guys that's a star offensively for Virginia Tech, but they're not doing so good against the quarterback.
And they're really not doing a very good job on 3rd down. They're 3 for 4 converting 3rd downs, and on this drive, Logan Thomas has converted 3rd and 20 and 3rd and 13.
Here's 3rd and 7. Option. Thomas keeps it. Not going to get to the first down marker, though. Did get down to the 26.
It's a good job of hitting him high at the end of that run. If they hit him low, he's probably going to fall forward to close to a first down. But watch the hit at the end of this run. Clark, number 57, hits him high, and then 3 guys are there. But Clark stood him up and stopped his forward progress.
Well, Justin Meyer hit his first one from 37 after an 0-2 season. Let's see if he can make it 2 straight tonight. A 43-yard field goal attempt by Justin Meyer. Kick on the way, and he got it. How about that? I don't think they're having a problem at kicker. Their head coach is a special teams coach. He's doing a pretty good job with that young fella.
It's a nice job by Trey Gresh, the holder, because that wasn't a great snap either. We got a new kicker who looks good and a holder that made the play work.
So the Hokies get points after the Kyle Fuller interception in the first quarter, carrying over their drive to the second quarter. A 43-yard field goal by Justin Meyer, who's 2 for 2 tonight after being 0 for 2 in the regular season. Those were both long shots, 51 and 57 yards. Tonight, good from 37 and 43 to end the last drive. Michigan so far very little offense in the first half of this game. Let's see if their special teams can come up with some yardage, and they won't have to. They'll get good field position from that kick going out of bounds. They work from the 40.
Out of bounds on the kicking team, untouched by the receivers. Ball be placed at the 40-yard line, first down.
Let's go back to the hold and the last kick. Good job by the holder.
Yeah, Trey Gresh is listed as the 3rd-team quarterback, but the 1st-team holder, and that's a nice job. The snap was on his hip. He was able to secure it, get it down for the new kicker. And again, the more this guy kicks and kicks successfully, the more confidence he's going to have.
And look at his teammates around him. Feeling good here in New Orleans tonight as his team in front 6-0. Now it's up to Denard Robinson in Michigan. They've got to get something cooking here. They fake the end around. Robinson keeps it and maybe got 3 out of it. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, when Michigan's been on defense, it does seem like they are missing their guys up front. Their defensive tackle, Will Heiniger, who's out with that leg injury, and their key backup, Nathan Brink. I've seen them try a lot of different combinations up front. I've seen Will Campbell in, but I've really seen a lot of their Sam linebacker, Jake Ryan, playing on the line, and now I've seen a 3rd-string guy, Frank Clark. So they're really mixing and matching up front.
Tight end Koger settles in on the left side. Play action. They throw screen out in the flat. Gallen got 3, but that's it. Anton Exum from the safety spot made the hit.
I thought that was going to be a better play because I thought Gallen did a really nice job of allowing Taylor Lewan, the left tackle, to get out there and get a block. But you see the speed and the pursuit of the Virginia Tech defense. This is not an overly big Hokie defense, but very fast and athletic.
I know we got a long way to go, but I think it's imperative right here that Michigan gets 4 yards and gets something moving. They get the 4 and then some. Koger, the tight end, first down and into Hokie territory.
Second time we've seen Denard on the 3rd down make a quick throw, a quick read. They're going to try to speed the tempo up a little bit here after that first down, but a good quick read. Koger's a big target. Set your feet. Deliver him the ball right as he comes out of his break for the first down.
Kevin Koger, one of their captains, his 22nd catch of the year. So Michigan, the first quarter, only had 2 first downs. They've got 1 here, and Denard Robinson's in trouble. And again, lost yardage on the play. Chris Hill, Corey Marshall combine on the hit.
That's interesting. You know, the 2 coordinators going at each other in this battle. As we take a look at Denard Robinson getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Al Borges, the offensive coordinator at Michigan, Bud Foster, the defensive coordinator of Virginia Tech, they went against each other in a Sugar Bowl several years ago when Al was the coordinator at Auburn. Auburn beat Virginia Tech 16-13. They had a couple 1,000-yard rushers, but Virginia Tech's defense played very well against his offense.
It was the last time the Hokies were in the Sugar Bowl. Here's pass that's knocked down at the line.
This was a big play, too. This was a big play because Hemingway was wide open running down the middle of the defense. If this ball doesn't get tipped, it might be a touchdown for Michigan. Little play fake. Right on the inside. Looked like Corey Marshall, number 96, got a hand on the football. Otherwise, this might have been a touchdown for the Wolverines.
Well, Corey Marshall's made a couple of big plays defensively for the Hokies in this series. Robinson, a throwback. Didn't get there, or did it?
No, it bounced.
Smith one-hopped it.
Well, credit to quick pressure by James Gale, because the pressure was so quick on Robinson that he really didn't get to set his feet. Now, he doesn't have the strongest arm, and he tried to throw that across the field without setting his feet, and the ball bounced on its way to the receiver. Now, they had a play set up. There were linemen out there.
You saw 3 linemen and nobody in a burgundy jersey out there in that picture, but the pass didn't make it, and the Wolverines waste great field position on the kick out of bounds. Started at the 40, got a first down at the 46, and had to give it right back to Virginia Tech.
ESPN College Football, the All-State Sugar Bowl, is brought to you by Taco Bell, think outside the bun, Ford, Drive One, Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time, here we go, and Discover Card, it pays to switch, it pays to discover.
Back at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, the All-State Sugar Bowl, where Virginia Tech, with Justin Myers' 2 field goals, leading 6-0 over the Wolverines of Michigan. Logan Thomas has been pretty good, though, here in the first half. He's been most of the Hokie offense.
Been good throwing it. He's been good with his decision-making so far.
This time he gives it off to Oglesby, and Oglesby, much like Wilson before him, finds it tough sledding. Got a yard.
You know, the decision-making in the run game has been impressive for Logan Thomas. A little bit of option, when to keep, when to pitch. He's been right on target tonight. This was a little bit out in front, but the right decision. He's got his eyes where they're supposed to be. He's reading the defender. And so far, every time he's made a decision whether to keep the football or pitch it, he's made the right decision for good games.
Another long yardage situation, 2nd down and 9. Oglesby stays in there with Thomas in the backfield. This time, decision was made for him. Kenny Devins, the middle linebacker. But now they've got him right where they want him, 3rd down and long.
Well, you get there right at the mesh point, and that's what Devins did. You know, right as Logan Thomas was pulling that ball out of the back stomach, Devins was there to meet him. And that's how you stop that play. You get into the backfield right at the mesh point.
Kenny Devins, the leading tackler for the Michigan defense coming into this game tonight. Again, 3rd and long has been where the Hokies have been very successful in this first half. 3rd down and 8. Thomas, deep middle. Again, they pick it up. Danny Cole again. I'm telling you, they might as well take a knee on the first 2 downs and just get 3rd and long.
Well, again, I think the advantage that he has is his stature in the pocket. He is able to see down the field over pressure and find openings. I mean, he is just looking over the Michigan defense and then dropping the ball in for completions down the field.
So on 3rd and 8, they get twice what they needed. 16-yard pickup out to the 44-yard line. Wilson now trotting into the backfield. And he's going to get the pitch from Thomas. And this time Wilson's got a little bit of room to work. And he's still on his feet. Wilson all the way down inside the 25. His best run of the night. A 32-yard gain.
And this was really a nice call by quarterback coach Mike O'Kane, because they brought Wilson into a different spot to get him the football. They bring him into the backfield, but they pitch it to him in space. Rather than have him try to run in between the tackles, get it to him in space, and he shows that burst and ability to break tackles and make people miss. He's had trouble finding openings in between the tackles. Get him the ball out in space, let him make somebody miss, and get a big gain that way.
Inside the 25. First and 10, Hokies. Now the pitch to Oglesby. And Oglesby on the corners got 10 more for Virginia Tech. Now their ground game is warming up.
Virginia Tech making most of their damage in the running game on the perimeter. A little bit faster than this Michigan defense. We've already talked about the wide receivers, how well they block out on the outside. They're big physical guys that take a lot of pride in their perimeter blocking, and that gains extra yardage for Virginia Tech.
Hokies back in the red zone, where Michigan's defense has been really good this year, but can they slow down this Hokie drive as Oglesby's got 4 more? Michigan was 4th in the nation in red zone defense, but they got their hands full right now.
It's just hard-nosed power football there. Give it to the tailback, run behind the fullback. Joey Phillips leading the play.
They clamped down when Virginia Tech got this close last time. That was the big loss by Wilson. Wilson not in there right now. Oglesby is the tailback in the eye, and he gets the carry. And Michigan stuffs that for very little gain. Demons again, the middle linebacker, in on the stop along with Desmond Morgan.
You know, Mike Martin coming into the game tonight, senior defensive tackle, 54 tackles. He doesn't have flashy numbers, but he demands double teams. And when a nose tackle or a defensive tackle draws double teams, that frees up linebackers. So he doesn't get the stats. The guys behind him get the tackles, but it's his job that frees them up.
A 3rd down and 3 or less. Todd talked about this earlier. Logan Thomas has only not converted once. Let's see if he carries this one. And he's not going to get this one. Well, he stretches the ball out at the end, and then Michigan trying to take it away from him. So we'll wait and see where they spot it. I think he's a couple of feet shy.
See, it's 3rd and 2 or less where he doesn't get stopped.
That's
3rd
right.
and 3, he come up a yard short. That's not his wheelhouse. 3rd and 2 or 1, that's his wheelhouse. 3rd and 3 came up a yard short.
Let's see how 4th and 1 does. 4th and 1 and a quarterback sneak. I don't know. Doesn't look like it.
Boy, based on where those line judges are running in from, it doesn't look like it.
I think Michigan stopped him here. Wolverines think so. Jay Strickerts is saying, let's clear everybody out of here and measure this.
There's Mike Martin right in the middle, and Van Bergen, the 2 leaders of this defense. 53 and 68, just submarining at the pile.
An all-important measurement coming up as the chain gang is out there. And he didn't get it.
Wow.
Length of the football short.
And once again, as much as it feels like Virginia Tech is dominating this game because of the way Michigan's defense has played in the red zone, they're only down 6, and they deny a scoring opportunity on this drive.
Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. And if you're a sports fan, you're going to be watching next Monday, January 9th, rematch of the regular season game featuring 2 SEC teams playing for all of it. LSU and Alabama, BCS National Championship game coming up 8 o'clock Eastern time. Our coverage starts next Monday. Second time Michigan's had to start inside their own 10 tonight. Toussaint broke 1 tackle, broke a couple more, and got out to the 10-yard line. A little bit of room to breathe.
It's a big play because Michigan has been losing the battle on first down up until that play. They had 1 Toussaint run earlier for 14 yards, and other than that, they've been averaging right around 1 yard per play on first down. So this was a big play on first down. They got the win, Good running by Toussaint and a little breathing room for their offense.
Gives them second down and 4. And now Denard Robinson, and he's got his first big play of the game. 16-yard pickup.
His first step is as fast as anybody in college football. But so far tonight, before that run, Virginia Tech was not letting him get to his first step. This was the cleanest look that he's had. A deliberate fake to Toussaint. Then Toussaint, once he knows he doesn't get the ball, he becomes a lead blocker. And Denard Robinson just gets right on his hip and gets up for a nice first down.
At the 26-yard line. Robinson under center, something you don't see a lot of. Toussaint hit the backfield. He's going to lose one. Alonzo Tweedy, the linebacker, made first contact.
You know, I know that David Molk is playing, and after that first series talked his way back into the game, but I'm not so sure he's 100%. That right foot injury that he sustained in pregame warmups has to bother him. I mean, he's an undersized center at 6'2", 285 pounds, but his mobility and his quickness, his athleticism is what sets him apart. But that's affected tonight.
On 2nd and 11, Robinson throws short, hit immediately as his tight end, and he might have gotten a yard. Kevin Coger.
I'm impressed with this Virginia Tech defense. The last time out against Clemson in the ACC championship, they gave up 457 yards of offense to Taj Boyd and that Clemson offense. They are really locked in on this Michigan offense tonight.
They had trouble with Clemson's players getting out there in space. Tonight, they're not giving any space up so far. Bud Foster, their defensive coordinator. That was one of his worries coming in, but his defense has met the challenge so far in this first half. 3rd down and 10 for the Wolverines. Robinson over the middle and knocked down at the last moments by Chris Hill. Nice play by the quarterback on Roy Roundtree.
Yeah, very tight coverage. Chris Hill, I thought he might have had his arm around. Look at that left hand grabbing the waist. I thought he got away with one there. Nice play with the right hand. Got away with a little hold with the left hand. I wouldn't wear orange gloves if I was going to hold.
I'd wear yellow gloves or white ones. And now Wiles hit as he punts, and flags fly in. Now will it be roughing the punter or running into?
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. On the defense, number 26. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
There's your answer, roughing the punter. And that gives Michigan a first down.
Well, it's up to the rusher to go with the right angle and not into the kicker. Go to a spot where the ball will come off the foot so that you go by the kicker and not into the kicker.
You saw Frank Beamer making that motion to the guy that was the guilty party, James Hopper. So Michigan's got new life by penalty.
And they've got to do better on first down. Again, first down, they can't afford to get behind the chains too often.
Big hit by Tariq Edwards, the inside linebacker on Toussaint. As we're under 4 minutes in the first half, low scoring. 2 field goals by Virginia Tech's Justin Meyer. That's all we have to show for the first half here. As you're watching the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. 7th play of the drive for Michigan, courtesy of that roughing the punter call. And now Michigan's going to take a timeout.
Timeout. Michigan. Timeout number 1.
They want to keep this drive going and get something out of this before halftime. Kirk Herbstreit, Chris Fowler, Todd McShay standing around 2. Buick halftime report with those guys coming up. Desmond, David, the rest of the guys, they'll be back on set. Chris is all set, done his homework. And they'll look back at what we've seen here in the first half and give their views. What we haven't seen much of is anything offensively from Denard Robinson. 4 out of 8, 23 yards throwing, and an interception, and only 6 rushes for 15 yards. Got a good gain out of this one. Picked up 5. Michigan's got 2 timeouts remaining and 3:20 left in the half. You just keep kind of waiting for that big gain to happen, and it hasn't yet.
Well, his last time out against Ohio State in a huge win for the Wolverines. 26 carries, 170 yards rushing, and a pair of touchdowns. And you know, anytime he has the ball in his hands, he's capable of making a big play.
They started at their own 4-yard line, though, after stopping Virginia Tech on downs. And now they moved it into Hokie territory. Toussaint still on his feet inside the 40 as he loses his lid, but he gets a first down and a pickup of 14.
This is good poise by Denard Robinson, because Toussaint was not his intended receiver. He was looking for a quick throw, and watch him have to kind of double clutch. It's not there on the slant. Readjust, find an outlet receiver, and get him the throw for the first down.
So they move it inside the 40 with 2.5 minutes to go in the quarter.
Yeah, I think they need to throw here on first down. Try to get a chunk play on first down.
They will throw. Maybe. No, they won't. Edwards with a sack. Got help at the end of the play from Luther Mattey. And the second sack of the first half for the Hokies.
Well, there was a little confusion because nobody picked up Edwards. You had 2 guys run by him, and then the tackle was late getting to him. Watch, 2 guys go by him. The tight end and a back. The tackle was late trying to get to him. Schofield, and it results in another negative yardage play on first down for Michigan.
Way back at the 45-yard line. Robinson didn't even look to pitch, and he got drilled as he picked up a yard by Tweedy.
We've talked about this Virginia Tech defense, you know, and the thing that we haven't mentioned, they're playing without some of their best players that they lost to injury during the year. Their best player, middle linebacker Bruce Taylor, was injured in the Boston College game. Their starting whip linebacker, Jerron Gavea-Winslow, injured in the Miami game. And their best defensive lineman, Antoine Hopkins, whose brother is Derek Hopkins, playing in there. He was injured against Clemson the first time they played.
Michigan 3rd down at 17. Blitz coming off the corner. Robinson got away from it, throws, and caught. And it's a touchdown. Junior Hemingway. And all of a sudden, 3rd and long for Michigan, much like Virginia Tech. You know, comes up with a big play, 45-yard touchdown.
Virginia Tech was trying to call timeout because of the formation. Robinson buys a little time and, quite frankly, just threw this one up. Eddie Whitley went for the interception, number 15, and missed, and the result was a touchdown. Probably not the greatest decision from Denard of where to throw the ball, but it worked.
Capping a 96-yard drive.
And again, because of their red zone defense, extra point here, they're leading the game.
Unbelievably. Sometimes it only takes one big play to turn things around, and that's what Michigan's done here with just 49 seconds to go in the half. As you take a look at our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam, this is picture perfect if you're a Michigan fan.
Well, it was made by Denard Robinson, eluding the rush. That was their best player, Kyle Fuller, that was in there and couldn't bring him to the ground. And then a heads-up play by Hemingway on the other end.
And on 3rd and 17, just pick up 45, and on your way, score a touchdown and take the lead.
A missed sack and a missed interception and a touchdown for Michigan.
So you get a great look at it there. And Hemingway on the receiving end. His third touchdown catch of the year. Kick goes to Tony Gregory at about the 4-yard line. And Gregory lost the ball. Michigan trying to get to it. We've got flags down, and the Wolverines have got the football. We wait and see about the flag.
Third and return, illegal block in the back on the return team, number 27. Penalties declined. First down.
Wow. Michigan with the lead, and now the ball and a chance to score again.
Well, ball security, special teams. J.B. Fitzgerald, number 42, from behind the play, punches it out. And Hollowell is going to come up with the loose ball. But it was Fitzgerald who punched the ball out from behind. And what a turnaround here right at the end of the first half for Michigan.
Virginia Tech special teams, they roughed the punter, and now they fumble the kickoff. And Michigan at the 26-yard line. Toussaint and around. Gallen trying to get to the far side, and he got a pretty good gain out of it.
Well, he got a good gain out of it because Denard Robinson got a block. He lost his helmet in the process, but without his block, this is a lost yardage play. Watch Denard Robinson get a block on a defensive tackle. He might have got the worst of it, but that enabled Gallen to turn it into a positive play.
Michigan still 2 timeouts to work with. 30 seconds remaining in the half. Second down and 3. And they're in the red zone at the Hokie 19-yard line. Robinson pump fakes and now goes to the end zone. Broken up.
Nice play by Axum. You know, that's a good throw that time and a good decision by Denard. Throw it up and let your receiver go to make a play. Hosley was beaten on the play, but Axum is going to come over at the end. I mean, that would have been a touchdown had it just been Hosley, but Axum comes over and puts a hit on right as Roundtree's trying to secure the football.
Great shot of it there in the end zone, and it brings up third down. 24 seconds remaining. Denard Robinson scans the field, fires to the end zone, and almost picked off. Eddie Whitley got a hand on it.
Well, that's 2 that Eddie Whitley has been close to intercepting. That time he did a beautiful job of reading Denard Robinson's eyes. I mean, he just zeroed in on Denard. Denard kind of stared that throw down, and Whitley came right in front of the intended receiver and almost got an interception.
So big stop for the Hokies defense, forcing Brendan Gibbons, who's 10 out of 14 on the year in field goals. He'll try a 36-yarder, but if you'd have told Michigan 3 minutes ago you could have a 10-6 halftime lead, they would have jumped all over it. Let's see if they can add that 3 here. And it's a fake. Dillio's looking to throw. Does, and tipped, caught by Michigan. The snapper, Jareth Glanda, caught the ball. This is crazy. You can't script this stuff. Eight seconds remaining.
Was touched by a defender, then caught by the offensive player. Therefore, by rule, the catch was legal. Timeout, Michigan. Timeout number 2.
Now, that's a good explanation by the official, because had that ball not been touched first by a defender, a lineman can't go and catch that pass. But because it was batted in the air by Virginia Tech, Glanda was able to make the catch.
There's the fake. Diller got a block from the kicker, or he wouldn't even have had a chance to throw this thing. And then he just wobbles one up there, hits a Virginia Tech player, and caught by the long snapper. Talk about a dream come true in a bowl game for number 54, huh? Look what I found. Wow. So now we've got a chance for Michigan to throw into the end zone.
I'm still trying to figure out if this was a called fake or if this was just the holder making a decision, because it didn't look like they were released into specific patterns like a called fake.
It worked out for him either way.
Yeah.
Now you got a chance to take one crack at the end zone. First and goal, Michigan. At the 8 with 8 to play in the half.
If you throw it quick, you might have time for 2 plays. Maybe.
Robinson in the shotgun. Denard scans the field, lobs one to Vincent Smith. With 2 seconds remaining, he's out at the 1.5.
Well, now I think you got to do what you originally were going to do, which was kick and try to get 3 points.
Here comes the field goal unit.
You know, once he scrambled, now you're down to 1 play. Because you still want to be able to kick and put points on the board here at the end of the half.
So Gibbons, this is actually going to be shorter than an extra point attempt. 19-yard field goal attempt by Brendan Gibbons, and we're assuming this won't be faked.
Well, look at these 3 guys from Virginia Tech. They're standing up. Whoa. They're not expecting fake either.
Penalty marker down.
Delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
And probably just as well, because the angle gets changed a little bit when you get that close to the goal line. So that's going to be a 24-yard attempt. In a crazy finish to the second quarter of the All-State Sugar Bowl. Brendan Gibbons, sophomore out of West Palm Beach, Florida. And he got the field goal up and good. Michigan 10 points in the final 49 seconds of the first half. We're at halftime. Unbelievably. The maize and blue in front. End of the half. 10-6. Stay tuned. Do a halftime report with Chris and the guys coming up next.
Plenty of history and a whole lots of hope.
Third down at 6 and another bad snap. Robinson got away from it, throws and caught, and it's a touchdown.
Michigan and Virginia Tech in the All-State Sugar Bowl.
And you're watching ESPN's presentation of the All-State Sugar Bowl from the Mercedes Superdome in New Orleans. And at halftime, unbelievably, Michigan leading Virginia Tech by a score of 10-6 as we're just about set to start the third quarter. Brad Nessler and Todd Blackledge back in New Orleans with you. Everybody knows when you do the hokey pokey, you eventually turn yourself around. That's what Michigan did in the last 49 seconds of the quarter.
Yeah, they really did. And, you know, when you think of Virginia Tech and Frank Beamer, you think of special teams and Beamer ball, but really Beamer ball backfired, you know, for Virginia Tech. And it started for Michigan in a positive way with a roughing the kicker on Virginia Tech. This extended a drive right at the end of the first half that led to a 3rd and long completion by Denard Robinson that could have been intercepted, turned into a touchdown that put them in front for the first time in the game. In the ensuing kickoff, another special teams problem for Virginia Tech. They fumbled it. Michigan recovered. They actually faked the field goal, got inside the 5-yard line, but ultimately had to settle for this field goal. And in a game that felt like Virginia Tech controlled for the entire first half, they found themselves 4 points down when it was all said and done.
Remember, Michigan had 2 first downs in the first quarter. And as you take a look at the stats heading into the third quarter, Michigan now with 100 passing yards and 145 total. The third down conversions relatively even. Virginia Tech had 2 red zone possessions. They only got a field goal and turned the ball over on downs the other time they were down there.
And, you know, that's been a bit of a problem for Virginia Tech now. That's 22 red zone possessions and only 9 touchdowns in those last 22 possessions. So something they need to fix here in the second half.
They will get the football first to start the third quarter. As Matt Weil will kick off for Michigan. This one's going to be fielded at the 1 by J-Ron Hosley. Hosley got stood up as he got to the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. And we check in with Holly Rowe. Hal?
Well, I caught up with Frank Beamer of Virginia Tech. He said he's pleased with the way they're moving the ball down the field, but they're just not punching it into the end zone. He said our kicker's doing a great job. They've got to get David Wilson more involved. And Todd, they're going to do what you said. They want to try to get it to him out in the flat, give him some space to run. Brady Hoke of Michigan said they've got to get off the field on 3rd down. They're letting Virginia Tech extend too many drives. And I asked him about his center, David Molk. He said he's doing a great job. That's why we love him at Michigan. He's tough, but they have been working on his ankle here on the sidelines.
So Virginia Tech, Michigan scrambling on their defensive front here on the first play of the 3rd quarter. Logan Thomas going to throw it out to Cole. He got a block, and much like the beginning of the game, he catches the opening pass of the 3rd quarter, pickup of 5.
I think if you're looking at matchups in this game, the matchup that really favors Virginia Tech, I think right now, are their wide receivers against the Michigan secondary. I don't think they can cover him. If they can't put pressure on Logan Thomas, I don't think they can cover the Tech wide receiver. So I think you start out throwing here the second half and then get to running the ball with David Wilson off of your throwing game.
You see a 2 tight end set both on the left side, and that's where Wilson tries to take it. But again, only got a couple. Virginia Tech, when you think about in real time, because at bowl games, halftimes are about 25 minutes long, the real time for the Virginia Tech offense, they haven't been out there in about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
yep. They started the game with great rhythm, and then at the very end, they kind of went backwards. But Logan Thomas has looked good throwing the football. That much has been pretty consistent for him.
And Michigan's going to take a timeout. Wow.
Timeout. Michigan. Timeout number 1.
Minute into the 3rd quarter. Logan Thomas has been the Virginia Tech offense so far tonight. 3rd down here as Michigan called a timeout just a little over a minute into this 3rd quarter to get their defense set, trying to prevent it. 3rd down and 3 here by the Hokies. Thomas, the stiff arm, but they're going to bring him down. Maybe that was a good timeout. Michigan stops Virginia Tech here in the opening moments of the 3rd quarter. Van Bergen, one of those Iron Men on the defensive front. And that's the first 3 and out by Virginia Tech in the game.
Nice job getting quick pressure, collapsing the pocket, and forcing Logan Thomas, who's not the fastest, at least not getting started, forcing him up in the pocket and then stopping him short of the first.
Danny Cole, starting receiver, also the punter. Jeremy Gallen waits on the other end for Michigan. And everybody's just going to get out of the way of this. It will take a Hokie bounce at the 26-yard line. Robert Griffin III of Baylor is a nominee for the AT&T All-American Player of the Year. Text vote to 55862 from your mobile phone to vote, and for a chance at a trip to the national championship. Robert Griffin III, the Heisman Trophy winner, unbelievable numbers. Hopefully you saw him with Chris and the guys on our pregame show tonight. Toussaint hit in the backfield and dragged down by James Gale. Neither team can really get a ground game going tonight.
Well, and again, Virginia Tech, the thing they've done really well against this Michigan offense, even though they're down 4, is first down, they have really kind of controlled the action. They have not allowed Michigan to get big plays on first down. So 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11 kind of puts this Michigan offense in a tougher situation.
Virginia Tech was 12th in the country defensively, allowing 314 yards a game. Here's Robinson going up on top, and it's picked off. J-Ron Hosley's got this one.
Boy, J-Ron Hosley just read this perfectly. Slipped right underneath the receiver, Last year, he led the nation with 9 interceptions. Numbers a little bit down this year. This is only his 4th, but he read that one all the way and beat Roundtree to the football.
And that one hit the ground, too. Oh, it's close. Kept his wrist under the ball, had his hand in sort of a funny spot.
Ruling on the previous play was an interception. The play is under further review.
Ooh, I don't think so, partner. A great play on the ball, as you said, but they'll take a look at it. Official review going on here. Will the Hokies have the ball or not? We'll find out when we come back.
After further review, the pass is incomplete. The Michigan ball, 3rd down and 11 on the 25-yard line. That'll be 1.
So, Michigan gets a break there.
Yep.
Mosley thought he had an interception after review. The play's overturned.
Well, I think it's the right call. Derek Bowers, who is one of the supervisors for the Pac-12 officials, in the booth with us, and as he was explaining to us, what they're looking for, does the ball help to secure the catch, or the ground help to secure the catch? And I think in that replay, it's clear that when the ball did hit the ground, it helped Hosley make that interception, and so the right call was made, and it's 3rd and long now for Michigan.
Denard Robinson can breathe a sigh of relief, but as Ledge said, still 3rd down and 11. Here come the Hokies. He's in trouble, and he's going to go down way back at the 10-yard line. Antone Exum and Jack Tyler are there.
Now, Bud Foster deciding to bring everybody. This is 0 coverage, meaning no free safety help. It's strictly man-to-man. They bring the safety right up the middle. Antone Exum, number 1, is going to come right up the middle, unblocked. The first guy to get to Robinson. And nowhere to go for Denard.
And the punt, fair catch taken at the 49-yard line by Hosley. Hosley didn't get the interception, but he fields the punt in great territory, position-wise, for the Hokie offense at the 49.
You know, sometimes it's a little bit of a gamble to blitz a guy like Denard Robinson because of his speed, if he can get outside the blitz. But Exum takes a good angle to the quarterback. He breaks down. He doesn't run by him. And he grabs him in time for someone else to get there to help him up. And that's Jack Tyler. So that was
too many maroon jerseys.
Yep.
And now the offense back out there at the 49. David Wilson takes a couple steps up. They fake the handoff, and it's intercepted right off the hand of Logan Thomas by Frank Clark. Wow.
Frank Clark, I'm not sure he knew how much he was going to play in this game tonight, but he has been a big-time contributor. He plays this perfectly. This is a true freshman out of Cleveland Glenville High School. Right between the quarterback, the intended receiver, times his jump perfectly and gets the interception. I'm sure Logan Thomas is thinking at 6'6", he can drop this ball over the top of Frank Clark. Clark made a beautiful play.
Did he ever?
Timeout. Virginia Tech, timeout number 1.
So Virginia Tech has to take a timeout.
Both defenses with an early timeout call here in the 3rd quarter.
Virginia Tech, 2 turnovers, both in their own territory. And Logan Thomas, his 10th interception suffered this season. Now Pittsburgh won 3 of its last 5 games to make it to the postseason. Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern, they'll take on SMU, looking for their 2nd straight bowl victory. The BBVA Compass Bowl on ESPN, ESPN Radio, ESPN3, and also streaming live on WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. That's coming up Saturday at 1 o'clock. What a play by the freshman. Yeah. You just don't see many that only go about 2 feet before they hit somebody in the hands and you can hold on to it.
Well, the real challenge right now for Michigan offensively is to do something on 1st down. They have really struggled in this ball game making positive plays on 1st down, and that just doesn't play to their strength.
Here's again Vincent Smith spins his way for a couple. J.R. Collins in on the tackle. Smith in there. Toussaint has done really nothing on the ground so far. None of the Michigan players have, including Denard Robinson. And credit Bud Foster's defense for that.
Well,
Michigan's got 32 rushing yards, Todd.
Virginia Tech's style is always to play a lot of guys around the line of scrimmage. Al Bohr just described it as a sick'em defense. I mean, that's the way they play. That's Bud's personality. That's their style. But they've tackled extremely well tonight as well.
Toussaint back in there now. They fake it to him. Robinson throws off his back foot. Jump ball. This time Hosley does have it. But there's a flag down. Penalty marker. Now the ball is out again. But we'll wait and see if there's a pass interference back where the interception was made.
Well, there was contact. This was a bad throw by Denard Robinson. A late decision to throw deep down the field. You know, you don't like your quarterback to make a late decision to throw deep and then underthrow it.
One of the things he told us yesterday in the meeting, I've learned this year not to throw late deep. Well, not that time.
Yep.
Here's a call.
Pass interference on the defense, number 20. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Wow.
Well,
J-Ron Hosley's got to be thinking, really?
Yeah.
Thought I had another interception, but instead it's a penalty.
There was contact. There was a push. And the receiver's going down. Wow.
Gallen was the intended receiver, and there's a hand fight going on between those two.
I think it's the right call. You know, what happened was he grabbed the top of his jersey and turned the receiver. He moved the receiver to go to the football. And by that movement, that's what drew the flag.
Wolverines have got a horseshoe in their back pocket right now on this drive. Toussaint back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Tariq Edwards, the linebacker, stays right there with him. So Michigan at the 18-yard line with a 2nd and 10. Leading 10-6, courtesy of 10 points in the last 49 seconds of the second quarter. Now 5 minutes into the third, they've got a chance to add to their lead.
This is single coverage out top.
Watson, one of the tight ends, runs out to the top of your screen. Denard Robinson going to go to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Hemingway for the second time. Back to the end zone, you get another look.
You only have to have 1 foot down with control. There's the catch, there's the foot down. This was another late throw down the field, but the difference with this one, you're throwing to the back of the end zone. So either your guy catches it or it's incomplete out of the back of the end zone.
Denard Robinson, 2 touchdown passes, both on a little bit of a prayer, a wing and a prayer on the second quarter throw, and now this one to the back of the end zone where Hemingway does a beautiful job, body control to make the catch.
See, this is a great throw because you put it in a spot where either your guy catches it or it's incomplete out of the back of the end zone. There's no danger of that one being intercepted.
ESPN College Football, the All-State Sugar Bowl, is brought to you by Allstate. Allstate, the only car insurance with a claim satisfaction guarantee. Nissan, proud partner of the Heisman Trophy. Tostitos, Tostitos knows how to party. And AT&T, an official sponsor of the Bowl Championship Series.
He may be junior Hemingway, but he's a senior, and his 2 touchdown catches have helped Michigan to 17 unanswered points, and they lead 17-6. What a turnaround, much like Michigan's season from a year ago. From the last minute of the second quarter to now midway, not even midway in the third quarter, and an 11-point lead. And David Wilson on a kick return. And again, the Hokies have great field position to start.
I'm going to go back and show you something on the touchdown. I could see it was man coverage, and when the tight end went in motion, Watson, That's going to force Hosley, who's a better cover guy, to go out there, and the safety Axum is going to be left on Hemingway. That's a better matchup for Michigan. Put the corner on the tight end. Now your wide receiver draws a safety in single coverage, and Hemingway able to beat him to the football.
Hemingway led the Big Ten just under 20 yards per catch, and he's got touchdowns of 45 and 18 here in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Wilson still looking for a big run tonight. That one, though, will put him in the record books. Single season rushing leader now in Virginia Tech history. Needed 29 yards coming in. Give him 11 more there.
Well, I think this is not just time for David Wilson. If you're Frank Beamer, Brian Steinsfree, you got to lean on this offensive line a little bit and say, hey, look, we got 4 fifth-year seniors up here starting on the offensive line. It's time to take a little control of the line of scrimmage, and let's get something going on offense.
Hokies have run a lot of plays in Michigan territory, but don't have much to show for it. And Wilson again picked up 4 more.
David Wilson is a physical guy. Great speed, very strong in the weight room, very powerfully built, about 205 pounds. And again, this year, one of the real step-ups he made in his running style was the ability to break tackles and to run stronger with yards after contact.
Number 4 got 4 on that last carry. Second down and 6. He gets the call again, and he's going to be close to a first down. Very close. 5 more yards for David Wilson. I like his style. He always wears a tie to school. Started that way back when he was a youngster. Still does it.
Yeah.
And I especially like.
Especially speaking of style.
Yeah.
You like his clothes, but you like his car better than his clothes.
Yeah.
Don't you?
The car is the best. There's no doubt about styling and profiling, as my friend Ric Flair would say about David Wilson and what he drives. Got a first down.
Good setup here.
Thomas going to throw it out to Wilson. And he's met head on. That's a tough 2-yard gain before J.T. Floyd let him have it. David Wilson, he bought his 78 T-Bird. He saw this sitting out in somebody's yard. He said, I'll give you $2,000 for it. And then he put about $8,000 more in. He's got the burnt orange paint job. He's got the 24 chromes. He's got the ostrich skin. It's a big boy car, David. That thing is sweet. I used to have a 78 Cougar, looked almost exactly like that. He and I have the same taste in cars. He's starting to warm up here in the third quarter. Thomas in an empty backfield. Quick throw out to Cole, who spins his way near the 30-yard line. Danny Cole came in with over 50 catches on the year. Penalty marker down.
Offside on the defense. Number 57 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Frank Clark, who had that interception that led to the last touchdown. The guy that was offside.
End of the line, listening to the quarterback's voice instead of watching the football.
Yep, just fell out of his stance and into the neutral zone. So they'll take that penalty. It'll move it down to second down and just a couple left. Hokies trying to answer Michigan's touchdown with one of their own here at the midway point of the third quarter. Oglesby checks into the backfield. DJ Cole's in motion. Oglesby, and he's going to have a first down. Mike Martin made the tackle. Mike Martin, one of those senior captains, guys that have been through it all. 3 head coaches, those 5th-year seniors have been through a lot, and they're very proud of restoring Michigan tradition, is what Mike talked about, and being a Michigan man. And Brady Hoke has been plugging that into these guys ever since he took the job about a year ago. First down for the Hokies. Wilson with a blocker in front. Shows his speed on the edge. They get 4 more yards. A lot of talk about David Wilson, whether or not he would forego his senior season and head to the NFL. Most people think he's one of the top 2 or 3 backs in the country if he would come out. This time he's in an I backfield behind Joey Phillips, a fullback. Puts both hands around the ball and fights his way for 2 more yards close to the 20. Saw Todd McShay down on the field with the guys on the sideline with Chris and the gang, and in Todd's opinion, behind Trent Richardson and Lamar Miller would be David Wilson.
I think one of the things that pro guys are maybe wondering a little bit about him, Todd down there with David Pollock, is just catching the ball out of the backfield. Only 21 catches coming into the game tonight.
Third down and 3, a big third down for Virginia Tech. They fake it to Wilson and throw it to the fullback Phillips, and he's brought down in the open field by Kovacs, the safety. Nice open field tackle.
We asked Greg Madison about Jordan Kovacs. He's not that big, he's not that fast, but he's been playing for a long time here in Michigan, and Greg said he's so intelligent, he's always in the right spot, and he just makes plays. And that's what that is. That's just making a play. A bigger guy, got to get him to the ground, go low, stop him short of the first down.
He has 3 fourth down stops this year. That was a big third down stop and forces a field goal. Justin Myers hit the 2 he's tried. 37 and 43. 36-yard kick, and it's perfect. No kicking woes tonight for Virginia Tech. That's for sure. 4:48 remaining, third quarter. Michigan Wolverines on top of the Hokies of Virginia Tech, 17-9. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Beautiful shots of New Orleans. 17-9 now with the last field goal by Virginia Tech. And you're looking at our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam right now. And that of Justin Meyer has got 3 field goals. But Michigan with the lead. Jeremy Gallen waits on the kick. And he'll field this one right at the goal line. It's Odoms on the return. Odoms trying to get to the corner. Little stutter step. Did get into the 20, and then he's run out of bounds around the 23 as we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, Virginia Tech kicker Justin Myers doing a great job tonight, guys, but the reason he's kicking is their regular kicker Cody Jornell stayed home after an arrest. But then the first night they were here in New Orleans, Tyler Weiss missed curfew, and Frank Beamer had a 0 policy, and he said, you're going home. The reason why, Frank was sick of them underperforming in BCS bowl games, so the front page of their player book, it let them know if you mess up, you're going to get the Greyhound experience. He had the schedule, the Greyhound bus terminal, 1 day, 2 hours, 35 minutes with 3 transfers. But unfortunately, Tyler took him up on it.
And Justin Myers taking advantage of those 2 guys not being here. He's got all the points for the Hokies so far. Toussaint rolling over James Gale for the last couple of yards. Gale, a sophomore out of Hampton, Virginia. Toussaint not been able to really get started tonight either. Another 1,000-yard rusher. He and Denard Robinson both over 1,000 in the backfield. And tonight only 25 yards on 7 carries for Fitz.
Well, in the 2 losses this year to Michigan State and Iowa, Toussaint only 65 yards on 18 carries combined in those 2 games.
Haven't seen Denard Robinson do something big with his legs tonight, but he does have 2 touchdown passes. And Toussaint's hit at the line of scrimmage again. No gain.
Alonzo Tweedy with a nice play. Tweedy missed a few games with an ankle injury. He's a very fast guy, maybe a little small for that outside linebacker position, but makes up for it with tremendous speed.
Here's a big third down for the Hokie defense. As Robinson minus rushing yards, but 2 touchdowns, all important. Virginia Tech fans know this is important. They're starting to make some noise. On 3rd and 5, Robinson double clutches, throws long and incomplete. Intended for Hemingway, who's got those 2 touchdown catches. And the Wolverines will have to punt.
Hemingway very well guarded on this, running a corner route. You could see his man, the other corner, Hosley, dropping back in, and an Axum coming over the top for help as a safety.
Hosley stays in there to return this punt. Not going to be able to get to it, though. And takes a Virginia Tech bounce up around the 39-yard line. So again, the Hokies have good field position to work with, but they've been getting down to the red zone and having to settle for 3. Don't forget, coming up next Monday, the 9th, LSU and Alabama, the rematch. But this one's for the BCS National Championship. It'll be on ESPN, ESPN Radio, ESPN 3D, ESPN 3, and also streaming live on WatchESPN.com. That's what they're going to be playing for. The Coach's Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper.
Well, I think you got to try to get Jarrett Boykin involved in your offense right now for Virginia Tech. He's been pretty quiet. He's your big play receiver.
He's in motion to the slots, the top of your screen. And off play action, Thomas running for his life, and he's tripped up. Great play by Jake Ryan. Loss of 3.
Well, I think they were trying to get the ball to Boykin. He was running the out route. They were trying to roll Logan Thomas to it. Watch the top of your screen. Boykin's going to run the out, and he's open. But Jake Ryan doesn't let Logan Thomas turn the corner.
Nice closing speed by the redshirt freshman out of Westlake, Ohio. Just tripping up the big quarterback for the Hokies. Losing 3, 2nd down and 13. Thomas now screen. That one's going nowhere. Michigan had it read beautifully. Played through the would-be blocker. Boykin made the catch, but J.T. Floyd and Desmond Morgan are there to make the play.
See Morgan's helmet. I mean, he's a true freshman out of Holland, Michigan, and his helmet looks like a middle linebacker's helmet. So all those scars and scratches on the top of the helmet.
Yep. 3rd and long. This is what Virginia Tech has done well tonight. Convert on 3rd and long. Thomas going to try to run for this one, and he's got it all the way to midfield. Take a look at it from our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam, and it was a pretty 13-yard scramble.
Well, good decision. He sees a crease, he steps up, and then he gets away from Van Bergen, number 53, and then a little niftiness at the end of the run to get the first down.
A little niftiness and then 255 pounds in your face for the last yard. Right at the midfield stripe with 1:10 to go, 3rd quarter. Hokies on the drive. Wilson now joins Oglesby and Thomas. Wilson gets the call. Nowhere to run, though. Nice job by Michigan. Jabril Black made the tackle that time. Hokies again back in Michigan territory, but every time they get there, they have to rely on their kicker to try to add more points to that scoreboard as they trail. It's a 1-possession game in a perfect world for Frank Beamer if you think touchdown, 2-point conversion. Right now they're just thinking about converting 2nd down and 9. Oglesby said, "I don't know the snap count, Logan." Now he's got it, and he's going to get the ball as well. They only got a yard. Well, here comes 3rd and long again, but that 3rd and long is going to have to wait till the 4th and final quarter of the All-State Sugar Bowl from New Orleans, because we played 3. Tough, hard-hitting game. A few mistakes by Virginia Tech special teams. A couple of big plays on the arm of Denard Robinson. And at the end of 3, it's the Wolverines leading the Hokies 17-9.
fake the handoff, and it's intercepted. Wow. Caught. Touchdown.
New Orleans is a song that's always being written.
So well said, Dr. John. I think I could use a doctor when this one's over, whether it's John or my own private physician. End of 3 quarters, heading to the 4th, 17-9. With Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe, Brad Nessler with you. The All-State Sugar Bowl. 4 times this year, this game, Virginia Tech has converted 3rd and 8 or longer. Let's see if they can get another one to open the 4th quarter. Oglesby. And he gets it. And he's still going inside the 35-yard line. Might be the best run of the night by the Hokies.
Well, good run, bad tackling, and a little bit of a surprise. I think Michigan was thinking pass, and they slipped the run in, but then nobody tried to wrap up Oglesby. And Oglesby did what you expect him to do, keep going north and south and getting the first down.
First down at the 34-yard line. Oglesby in there to sub for Wilson, who now checks back in to the Hokie backfield. Both tight ends will shift over on the right side on first down. And now Boykin comes in motion. Play action. Thomas over the middle, tips.
Well, he didn't get a chance to even get his shoulders turned around to make that throw. He was trying to throw back to the middle of the field, and Van Bergen was in there so quickly. Watch Logan Thomas try to get his shoulders turned after the fake to make the throw, and he only gets about halfway around, and very lucky that one was not intercepted in the middle of the field by Damons.
And he got planted by Van Bergen, the senior defensive end. 8th play of the Hokie drive here. 2nd down and 10. Empty backfield. Thomas steps up, and he's going to be tripped up and go down, courtesy again of Ryan Van Bergen, the first guy there.
Well, when we talked to the Michigan coaches and they talked about Ryan Van Bergen and Mike Martin, they just said the same thing. They're seniors who have played a lot of ball here, but they bought in completely to what we wanted to do. You know, they were a 3-4 defense before this year, and they switched to a 4-3. And when your seniors buy into a new system and lead by example, boy, that's a big thing. And that is what happened for Michigan's defense this year.
Hokies have picked up a 3rd and 12 and a 3rd and 8 on this drive. 3rd and long again. Thomas, this time they won't. Avery was there covering. And let's see if Virginia Tech's going to stay with their offense on the field here.
It sure looks that way.
Yeah, it does.
Nobody coming off the sideline. Now, Justin Meyer was their long field goal kicker.
He missed from plus 50 twice this year, but he's hit 3 tonight. It would have been a 52, 53-yarder, but instead the Hokies are going for it here. Well, they've been great on 3rd and long. Let's see how they are on 4th and long.
2 deep safety, middle of the field could be open.
Thomas backpedals. Somebody's helmet comes off of the pile. Thinking about running with it. Now he will. And he got there.
Boykin did a tremendous job turning from receiver to blocker at the end of that play. If Boykin doesn't do that, Logan Thomas, there's no way he picks up a first down. Watch on the left of your screen, the receiver number 81, Boykin, turn into a blocker right there in front of Logan Thomas, and that gets him the first down.
We told you about 3 hours ago he can beat you with his arm and he can beat you on the ground, and this time he beats Michigan on the ground. On 4th and 11 he got 13. And here's Virginia Tech down close again, but this is where things have backfired on them. They've had to settle for field goals. They're looking for a touchdown and probably a 2-point conversion try. Wilson, no gain. Well, fighting, still on his feet. He might have gotten 2 unless the whistle was blown, and it wasn't. So he got 2 tough yards out of that.
Yeah, touchdowns in the red zone has not been a strength for Virginia Tech this entire season.
3 possessions in the zone tonight, 2 field goals, and they turn it over on downs.
And that means in their last 23 red zone trips, they've only scored 9 touchdowns. And it's hard to beat good football teams when you have to settle for field goals.
Thomas in the shotgun at the 20. Second down and 8. Low snap. Got the handoff. Throw to Wilson. Wilson pops it through, and he's inside the 10. First and goal, Hokies.
Well, you mentioned the low snap. Good handle that time by Logan Thomas. Just getting the ball off the ground and getting it into the belly of David Wilson.
Watch how fast this happens. Low snap, boom. Ball in gut. And first and goal at the 8-yard line.
And there was Boykin again blocking downfield. Hasn't had a big night catching the football, but a couple big-time blocks on this drive.
13th play of the drive. On first and goal, play action. Thomas throws near side, threw that one away. Joey Phillips, the fullback, was the closest guy. It looked like Logan Thomas said something to Ryan Van Bergen like, I'm getting sick of you in my face when I'm trying to throw the football. The motor's still running on Martin and Van Bergen. And they come up with another stop. Second down and goal. Cole in the slot left. They're going to run it the other way. Thomas broke one tackle. Won't get away from the second wave, though. He lost a yard. Third down and goal.
See, a lot of times if you anticipate blitz or pressure, an audible is an option. And I think that's what Logan Thomas did that time. Michigan showed pressure. They showed zero coverage in the back end, and he audibled to an option. But he wasn't able to get outside. Good penetration by Craig Rowe, number 88, slowed the play down, and they gained minimal yardage.
Third down and goal at the 9. Michigan's coming with a blitz. Thomas reloads, fires, overshot his receiver, but there's a flag down. Marcus Davis was the intended receiver, and Michigan's either going to be called for holding or pass interference.
It was a little bit of a double move by Davis, and I think that's what fooled Blake Countess, the freshman cornerback, number 18. Question is, was this a catchable pass?
Pass interference on the defense, number 18. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line. First down and goal.
Countess is going to come inside, and a little hesitation is what beat Countess, and he just instinctively reached out and grabbed with his left hand. And that's the right call. The hesitation move by Marcus Davis froze Countess, and when he was beat, he just grabbed.
So Virginia Tech has got it. First and goal. 7-minute drive going on right now. They've got it at the Wolverine 2-yard line. Wilson, the tailback, in the eye. He gets the carry. Wilson broke one tackle, got near the goal line. Down to the 1 or maybe inside. And again, could have easily been a loss on the play. Right there, it would have been at about the 4, but nice second effort. He actually stretched the ball out at the end, so he's inside the 1. David Wilson's got 9 rushing touchdowns on the year. Quarterback takes it himself. Touchdown, Hokies.
Quick snap. The quick snap got him in there. I mean, he was 5 yards into the end zone.
Well, he had the big play on 4th down to keep the drive alive, and then big number 3 just goes right behind his center and his 2 guards for an easy touchdown.
Impressive drive.
16 plays and 61 yards worth of impressive drive in over 7.5 minutes. And now here comes the 2-point conversion to try to tie it up.
Well, you go for 2 here. Even if you don't make it, you're still a field goal from being in the lead. So it makes sense to go for 2 here.
They spread things out. Cole in motion. Thomas in the gun. 2-point conversion. Lobs it. Caught. Tie game. Marcus Davis.
Well, that's 6'4", 228-pound receiver going up in the air against a 5'10" cornerback. That's a calculated risk. Throw the ball up in the air. Let your bigger guy go up and make a catch like getting a rebound. Box out and go get the ball.
Beamer with a reaction. Tie game in New Orleans. Wedge, what more can you do on a drive than convert a 4th and 11 with your feet? Quarterback sneak for a touchdown. 2-point conversion pass to tie the game.
I'll tell you what, Logan Thomas, I like the look in his eyes. I mean, from the very beginning of this game, this is a focused guy, a confident guy, and the game has been in his hands, and he's taking control.
Kickoff scooped up at the 9 by Odoms. Hit as he crossed the 20. Nice job on special teams. Kashawn Jarrett. As we take a look at tonight's Taco Bell touchdown spotlight, Mr. Blackledge.
Well, it was Michigan's last touchdown, and it was really the design of the play. The motion took the corner out and put him in man-to-man on the tight end, which left a safety on the #1 receiver. That's a matchup that favors the offense. Denard Robinson saw it, gave his guy a chance at the back, and it was a touchdown for Michigan.
So now Michigan, let's see if they can answer the call. After 17 unanswered points, we're tied at 17. Denard Robinson. He's going nowhere.
Virginia Tech's defense has just done a marvelous job on first down against this offense and against a guy who is one of the most elusive players in college football. They just have not given Denard Robinson any big plays, any room to operate. He's made a couple big throws, but in terms of running the football, he has not broken free against him.
You see the meager rushing total of 0 on 11 carries. But he has 2 touchdown passes, and he'll go to the air here. And that was almost picked off by Hosley again. Very close, intended for Hemingway.
See, this is not a pass offense or a quarterback that has to throw and is going to be effective throwing on 2nd and 9 or 3rd and 10. This advantage really goes to Virginia Tech in their pass defense. Where Michigan's pass offense is going to be good is off of play action because it's set up by the run. But the run has not been very good tonight.
Bud Foster's defense trying to come up with a stop here. 3rd down and 9, Michigan. Hokie fans making some noise in the Superdome. Throw is complete. No, it's in and out of the hands of Dillio.
Nice play by Dietrich Bonner. Right there in coverage, ripped the ball out. This was a good throw. Should have been a catch, but Bonner fought all the way to the end of the play. Good throw. It's in both hands. Bonner just doesn't give it up. I mean, he just fights through the arms.
Hunt. Hosley backpedals, takes it over his shoulder at the 25. Gives ground to the 20, and now coming back the other way. He's got some room to operate. Hosley across the 40. So not only does the Hokie defense hold Michigan to a 3 and out, the Wolverines' 3rd of this half, but now they got the ball back in good field position again. All-State Sugar Bowl coming down in the last 9 minutes. Hokies have got the ball back. They've answered Michigan's call. And in a tie game, stick around. We should have a great finish.
ESPN College Football, the All-State Sugar Bowl, is brought to you by Allstate. Play the All-State Championship Challenge at allstatechallenge.com. Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. Vizio, delivering entertainment freedom for all. And Taco Bell, think outside the bun.
Got the joint jumping tonight on both sides. And our aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. 9 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in regulation. 17-17, Michigan and Virginia Tech. And the Hokies have got it back at their own 43.
And their offensive line Really, the last 2 drives, 9 plays to a field goal, 16 plays to a touchdown.
Play action for Thomas. Fires quickly to his tight end, Eric Martin. Logan Thomas on the last drive. Todd, you can't ask for much more than what he did.
Yeah, and it wasn't with his arm, which has been most of the case tonight. It's more with his legs. 3rd and long. He takes off. He's going to pick up a much-needed first down with some nifty running at the end. 4th down and 11. Also with his legs. Looks downfield as long as he could. He couldn't pick it up. Gets a good block from Boykin and then runs it in for the touchdown using that big body. So Logan Thomas with his arm and with his legs.
Wilson behind his blockers, trying to get to the first down marker. And let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, remember Logan Thomas is playing just his 3rd year at quarterback. He said, when I was a little kid, the picture in my head, I was a wide receiver. Virginia Tech recruited him as a tight end, but his senior year in high school, he had to play quarterback due to some injuries. Frank Beamer saw him, and driving home with his offensive coordinator, Brian Steinspring, he said, I think this kid can play quarterback for us. He said he had poise, he had presence, and so Brian called him and said, keep throwing. They decided his first day of camp to try him at quarterback, and look where he is now.
He's been sensational all year long and again tonight. 3rd down and 5. Here comes a blitz. Thomas not going to get there this time. A yard shy. Well, let's see if Frank Beamer would go for it here on 4th down and a yard just in Michigan territory.
No, you punt the ball here. I mean, even though you got the big quarterback, you don't want to let Michigan's offense has not moved the ball consistently against your defense.
And he's going to think about it because the offense is still standing there waiting on the decision of a 4th and 1. So we'll let him talk about it exactly halfway through the 4th quarter. The only team to beat Virginia Tech this season, the Clemson Tigers, champions of the ACC, take out another team from the state of Virginia, West Virginia, in the Discover Orange Bowl. It's coming up tomorrow night. Coverage starts at 8 o'clock Eastern. West Virginia and Clemson tomorrow. Right now, Virginia Tech and Michigan, and after the timeout, decision made to take out the punting team. And that means Danny Cole will punt.
Definitely, I think this is the right decision. Your defense has played lights out. They have stoned this Michigan offense.
Cole is a wide receiver, remember, and he's going to be put down, and the ball comes out at the end.
He was trying to kick it at the end.
A 3rd special teams misfire by the Hokies. Something they pride themselves on.
Well, I just don't get that. I don't know if that was just left up to Cole or what, but I mean, your defense has held Michigan to 156 yards of offense. Punt the football, make them go the long field. Yeah, he was going to try to kick it at the very end when he realized he wasn't going to convert. But this guy, Jake Ryan, has made a bunch of plays, maybe none bigger than that one right there.
And the Wolverines offense has got it at the 45-yard line of Virginia Tech.
With a short field. Wow.
Toussaint met in the backfield. No gain.
I mean, that's been the story of the game. First down, Virginia Tech has just stopped cold the Michigan offense. 156 yards. They came into the game averaging over 400 yards a game. That's why I just am so surprised that Frank didn't decide to punt them deep, play to his defense, and see if Michigan will give him the ball back with good field position. Instead, the field's completely flipped, even if Michigan doesn't score on this drive.
Michigan's run 13 plays in the second half. They got 11 yards to show for it. 2nd and 10. Robinson, play action, throws, completes. They pick up 10 more to Roundtree. Roundtree's first catch, gain of 11 to the 35.
Fuller way inside on the coverage with a big cushion. A nice easy throw for Denard Robinson. That was a big hole in his own defense. And easy for Denard Robinson to pick it up.
Michigan with 6 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. And they've got it at the Hokies' 35-yard line. Hemingway comes all the way across the field in motion. Denard Robinson pump fakes, goes incomplete. Hemingway, I think, fell down.
Yeah. Got a little tangled up and then fell down. Kind of limping off the at the end of this play as well. Denard Robinson's going to pump, so it's going to be an out and up. Got tangled up out there with Dietrich Bonner.
Second down and 10 for the Wolverines, trying to take advantage of the special teams miscue by Virginia Tech. Denard Robinson, quarterback draw inside the 30. First down at the 23.
One of the few times that he's been able to get past the initial rush of Virginia Tech.
A DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam gives you this look.
Virginia Tech's bringing pressure. So if you get past the initial line, you've got a little running room. Couple blockers out in front, and Denard Robinson gets past the initial rush and picks up a first down.
Wolverines go with 2 tight ends and an high backfield as we're down to 5.5 minutes. And the Wolverines at the 23-yard line of the Hokies, trying to take control in the late stages of the quarter in Toussaint. No gain again. Jack Tyler made first contact and then got help from his friends.
Now, if you're thinking field goal eventually here for Michigan, Brendan Gibbons' season-long, career-long, was against Ohio State in the final game, 43 yards. So they're within that range right now.
Remember, hit a short one the first half after faking a field goal and then having to settle for one. Right now, they'd love to use about 4 more minutes to get a touchdown. Denard Robinson following Mulk and the rest of the offensive line for a couple more. Well, now the Hokies, they got to start looking at that clock a little bit too, because they know that Michigan is going to bleed it for all it's worth right now before they either attempt a field goal, which if they don't pick up 8 yards, that's what's going to happen right here. It's been a 3-minute Michigan drive so far.
And if you're Bud Foster right here, do you go after Denard Robinson, or do you try to make him read coverage and throw against his own?
Read coverage. Robinson throws incomplete, intended for his tight end Cougar. And out will come Brendan Gibbons.
Good position by Kyle Fuller, number 17. He's on the tight end Cougar in perfect position. Would have taken a magical throw for Denard Robinson to get that one in.
Todd mentioned season-long 43 for Gibbons. This will be a 39-yard field goal attempt at the 4-minute mark to try to give Michigan the lead back. Gibbons from 39. Kick on the way, and it's perfect. Michigan back in front. It's all coming down to the last 4 minutes. Can the Hokies get 3 or more here at the end? Celebrating its 7th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. To date, Allstate's contributed more than $2.6 million in scholarship monies. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew at the Allstate Sugar Bowl. It's 20-17 Michigan with exactly 4 minutes left, fourth quarter. David Wilson on the kick return from the 4-yard line. Great speed. If he can find an opening, he's not going to find one. Wow, great coverage by the Wolverines.
And a flag down as well.
See you, boy.
Jay Strickert's our referee with the call.
During the return, holding on the return team number 27. 7 before it's happening, goal, first down.
It doesn't help the Hokies' cause too much.
After this.
Well, That's been a problem for Virginia Tech. Special teams, normally a strength. It started with a roughing the punter. That led to a touchdown. The ensuing kickoff right before the end of the first half. Virginia Tech fumbles. That led to a go-ahead field goal. And then just moments ago on a 4th and 1, Virginia Tech called timeout, tried to go with the fake. That led to a field goal. 13 of Michigan's 20 points directly from the special teams of Virginia Tech.
Worst starting field position for the Hokies. And Wilson got him a little bit better.
What a big-time run.
8 yards, a little bit better field position.
We talked about his ability to break tackles, his strength. It's late in the game. This is all second effort, third effort by David Wilson. Could have been tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Ends up running out of about 3 tackles for 8 yards.
We're under 3.5 minutes. Wilson's got 78 yards on the night, 54 in this half. 2nd and 2. Thomas, quick throw, complete. Marcus Davis, who had the 2-point conversion to tie the game at 17, has got 11 more yards. Time is of the essence. Once they move the chains, we'll be down around 3 minutes on the next snap.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much more you huddle if you're Virginia Tech.
They only got 1 timeout left.
I think you play with a little bit more urgency. You've got Cole and Boykin. I still think that's your most favorable matchup is your wide receivers against this secondary.
On first down, Thomas. Deep sideline to Cole. Cole into Michigan territory. Down near the 42-yard line.
Nice job by Logan Thomas reading the cover 2 look. And there's a hole right between the corner and the safety. And that's right where he threw the football. Right there it is, between the corner and the safety coming over the top. There's a little voided area, and Logan Thomas put the ball right there.
So Cole, who was tackled on the fake punt, comes up with a big pass play there. 30-yard reception down to the 42-yard line. Field goal to tie. Touchdown might win it. Wilson won't break tackles this time. Might lose a yard. He will.
I just don't know how much there is with that. I think you get in a spread. You make that Michigan defense spread out and guard your receivers, and then maybe you'll slip a run in with David Wilson. But with tight formations and tight ends, Michigan's defense, I think, has been too good tonight.
Thomas throws to the outside to Cole again. And he's got a first down. And stops the clock. Mr. Dependable Cole, the senior out of Lexington, Virginia.
Beautiful timing throw also. Right as he comes out of his break to the outside.
That ball had some velocity on it too. He had to really snatch it before getting his foot down.
And a perfect throw away from the defender.
The play is under further review.
Under 2 minutes reviewing the play, but to us certainly looked like the catch was good.
Now, if that ball is thrown inside on the inside shoulder of the receiver, it's probably deflected. It's thrown to the outside shoulder. There's the left foot down clearly on the catch. Coming into the game tonight, Cole, 52 catches. Boykin, 57 catches.
Cole actually had more yardage on the season too. Came in with 787 coming into the game. Kidding around with him in the meeting the other day about how fast he is. And Eddie Whitley, the safety for the Hokies, said we call him White Lightning.
That must
He's fast enough.
Fast, yeah.
That's like 4.37 right around there on the 40. Again, they're taking a look at it.
After further review, the ruling on the field that the ball was caught and the first down was met. It's been confirmed. First down.
So it's a 7th catch for Danny Cole for 109 yards. And every catch they make now is getting bigger and bigger to either try to get their field goal kicker in range to tie it or try to win the game.
See, and as good as Justin Meyer has been, I think Logan Thomas and the command he has of the game right now, I think you stay aggressive and see if you can score a touchdown here instead of just trying to set up a tying field goal.
Michigan's going to blitz from the secondary. Thomas is going to go long to the corner to Davis. Ran out of real estate in the corner. They took a shot against Blake Countess, the freshman corner.
Again, we've talked about Boykin and Cole, but the other two receivers, Davis and DJ Coles, are both big, 6'4" guys. You give him a shot for the football. That's good position by Countess, using the sideline as an extra defender and just working his man out of bounds.
The Hokies took over at their own 9 with 4 minutes remaining. Now we're down to 1:51 on a 2nd down and 10. Low snap, Thomas across the middle to the tight end. He's got a 1st down, and he's down to the 16-yard line. Chris Drager.
Lots of time. You got one timeout that you want to save as long as you can for your field goal unit. The clock stops while they reset the change. Good quick throw to the tight end. And you're still in business. I still think you're thinking touchdown right now if you're Brian Steinspring and play caller Mike O'Kane. Don't put it on a new kicker to put this into overtime. See if you can win it with a touchdown.
At the 17. No gain for Wilson. If there was any, it was less than a yard. There's Justin Meyer warming up, or starting to think about warming up. He's 3 for 3 tonight, 37, 43, and 36.
Now this says to me that they want a field goal, huddling as the clock's moving down under a minute.
Thomas, quick throw out to Cole, down the sideline and out of bounds. Let's see where they spot it.
Short of the 1st down, but it stops the clock. So now they can get into the huddle, call whatever play they want here on 3rd down.
8th catch for Danny Cole tonight.
I watched last night. Now, I'm not comparing Logan Thomas to Andrew Luck, but I watched Stanford last night play to position themselves to kick field goals instead of allowing Andrew Luck to try to win the game, throwing it for a touchdown, and it backfired.
And flags down.
They weren't set.
False start. Well, this changes this play big time.
False start on the offense number 52, left guard. There is no 10-second subtraction because the game clock was not running.
Wow. Well, now from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7, a huge change of events. Everybody's got to be set. Greg Nozel, number 75, was not set, was moving early.
They can get a 1st down at the 6. Thomas fires in that vicinity, but it's short. Jared Boykin is about a yard shy. Logan Thomas is looking at the sidelines and say, what are we doing?
I think now they're going to, they got to try to kick a field goal now with 30 seconds left. They'll let the clock run down and use their last timeout. They'll let the clock down, the play clock go down to about 4 seconds before they call timeout. That penalty was costly.
Huge.
No, I mean, they were going for it. They were aggressive, going to try to win with a touchdown.
And so now, a guy who probably 3 weeks ago never thought he'd see the football field as a kicker for Virginia Tech this season has been perfect tonight. From a lot of different angles and distances. And now he's going to be asked to tie the All-State Sugar Bowl up here in the final seconds in New Orleans. This will be the shortest one he's tried tonight.
I would imagine Michigan will allow him to get set up. Right before the snap, Brady Hoke will use one of his 2 remaining timeouts just to add a little bit more drama for Justin Meyer.
We've had wild finishes and overtimes in our bowl games on our ESPN networks, and this one goes down to a 25-yard field goal attempt. Justin Meyer, the senior, to try to send the game to overtime.
There's the timeout by Brady Hoke.
Make him think about it just a little bit longer.
And remember, Brad, the fact that Michigan has a 3-point lead, as much as anything, the result of the fake punt that went awry from Virginia Tech that gave Michigan a short field. They only had to make a couple plays to get into field goal range to get this 3-point lead.
Logan Thomas can't bear to watch. He's got his back to where the action's going on. Michigan, their entire team huddled over there at about the 17-yard line. And now they come back out. So a minute's worth of more pressure put on the shoulders of this young fella. He's hit from 37. He's hit from 43. He's hit from 36. Meyer from 25 for the tie. Kick is up and good.
Well, I think he earned a plane ticket home. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say no bus ride. The snap was a little bit wide. Going to give the holder credit again. Trey Gresh has handled some pretty good ones tonight. This one kind of tucked it in, got it down. The kick is good. Tie game at 20. Logan Thomas says, I can look now. I can tell the fans are cheering.
I'm impressed with this guy, Logan Thomas. You know, it says a lot about him. I've heard all the coaches talk about what a great guy he is, too, what a great person.
Right.
Not only making the switch from tight end to quarterback, but then also agreeing to redshirt a year, knowing he probably wasn't going to play behind Tyrod Taylor. And so, you know, to learn the position, a very humble guy, and yet a very confident guy who has gotten better and better as this season has worn on.
There's his numbers tonight. That rushing total, the touchdown, the 2-point conversion pass. That gets lost in the mix sometimes, including a 3rd down and 12 rush and a 4th down and 11 rush. And they just dribble this kick down. And we're going to overtime. 20-20. Four field goals tonight for Justin Meyer. They were all big. This was the biggest. 25-yarder. Overtime at the All-State Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. .20 at the end of regulation. Just about set to start overtime before the coin toss to find out who gets what. Coin toss will be for the choice of offense, defense, or choosing your end of the field. Each team gets a possession for the 25 per overtime until a winner's decided. Play clock only, and you got to go for the 2-point conversion starting with the 3rd overtime, which is what we had between Michigan State and Georgia yesterday. Well, the captain's coming back out. We flipped the coin about 3.5 hours ago with Jay Strickerts, Antonio Freeman, and Lloyd Carr. Lloyd and Antonio stay on the sidelines this time. Jay will do the honors himself.
2 out of the 3 BCS bowl games going to overtime.
The options for overtime period. Winner of the toss has the option of offense, defense, or end of the field. Same coin, a head and a tail. I'll flip it in the air. We'll let it hit the ground. What are you calling?
Heads. Heads.
Heads. Call is heads. And it is a head. Michigan's won the toss. Michigan chooses defense. Which end of the field do you want to play on? Turn with your backs this way. Virginia Tech ball, 25-yard line, 1st down and 10.
So you want to play defense the first time out if you can. Then you know what you need.
And Virginia Tech's choice of the two end zones. There's more Hokie fans in the end zone that they chose to go towards than the opposite way.
There's almost no Hokie fans down at the other end, as a matter of fact. A lot of maize and blue. So starting at the 25-yard line. Bernard Robinson can keep the headset on to find out what his offense needs once Logan Thomas and company are done with their shot.
Boy, and so often, first down has been such a critical down tonight, the whole game, and in overtime, this first down play is usually very, very significant.
3 wideouts to the top of your screen for Logan Thomas, but they will run the ball with Wilson. And he got 2 very tough yards. Craig Rowe made first contact. So 2nd down and 8. Everybody just sort of catching their breath.
Yeah.
It's quiet in here right now. Second down and a long 8 outside the Michigan 23-yard line here in overtime. Wilson again. Got close to the 20, but it's going to bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and 5. Number 1 receiver tonight has been Danny Cole for Logan Thomas.
I think where they are most effective is when they put Cole and Boykin on the same side of the pattern, and that's where they are this time. They're both down here on the bottom of the screen. Cole in the slot, Boykin on the outside.
Cole's caught 8 passes tonight. 3rd and 5. Thomas gonna go to the end zone. Cole, did he catch it? He did. Touchdown.
I think he landed on the football too and knocked the wind out of himself.
He'll take that right now, I think.
What an amazing effort by Danny Cole.
The 9th catch of the night is the prettiest one.
Well, go look at this one again too.
For sure.
We've had this the 3rd one we've had tonight.
Field is a touchdown. The play is under further review.
The 3rd play we've had where a receiver or an interceptor has had the ball going to the ground and the ball's made contact with the ground. And again, what they'll look for, did the ground aid him in catching the ball? It was ruled a touchdown on the field.
And Derek's telling us, look at the elbow as well. Was ruled a touchdown. Puts the right hand way out there. Well, of the ones we've had tonight, I think that one looks more like a catch than some of the other ones.
What an incredible effort.
Oh, my goodness.
They put Cole and Boykin on the same side. Boykin ran the short route. Cole ran the corner route. And Logan Thomas put the ball in a place where only his guy could make a play.
Jim Fogeltantz is up in the replay booth. Danny Cole still having fun. If it's a catch, it's a career-high night for him. It would be his 9th catch, and none bigger than that one.
You know, at the end of this play, as he was going to the ground, it did look like his left elbow hit the ground before he and the ball hit the ground. And he had security of the ball before he hit the ground. What an effort.
One more look.
He catches it with his right hand. Watch his left elbow. Hits the ground before the ball does. I think that's going to stay as a touchdown catch.
I think it would be tough to overturn, that's for sure. There's that elbow. So the drama continues to build, replay by replay. Here's the call.
After further review, the receiver did not maintain control of the ball throughout the play. The pass is incomplete. Down is 4.
They take it off the board.
Wow.
Here comes the field goal unit again. He's already hit from 37 once tonight. Justin Meyer trying to go 5 for 5 from 37 in overtime. This one is no good. Wide right. Oh boy. A perfect night, no more, for the Hokie kicker.
Just pushed it out there.
And Danny Cole, who thought he had a touchdown, now they don't even have 3. And on the other side, Denard Robinson said, I got my shot and I only need 3. And Frank Beamer, who put his trust in this kicker, great night. Frank's just smiling. When you've been around as long as Frank, 25 years, and now the winningest active coach, you know things are going to happen like that. You just don't want them to happen in a bowl game. Michigan with a chance to win in overtime. Takes over at the 25. Toussaint, 2 or 3. And Michigan trying to get in Brendan Gibbons' field goal range. And actually they're in it right now, but they want to get him closer.
Be very surprised if Michigan throws the football here. Denard Robinson pretty much running this one.
Toussaint dancing in the hole, got to the 20. 2 more. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Now I'd anticipate the next play would be a run back to the left towards the middle of the field to set it up right down the lane for Brendan Gibbons.
If they even don't gain any more yardage, it would be about the length of the field goal that Virginia Tech just missed. 3rd and 5. Want to make sure you secure the football too. There's the run back to the middle that Todd was talking about. And he actually might have lost a couple of feet.
Remember yesterday now when Michigan State and Georgia were playing, Georgia kind of went for the same kind of situation. 3 very conservative plays to set up a field goal in overtime. Missed the field goal.
Drew Dillio to hold. Brendan Gibbons, 37-yard field goal attempt, the same distance Virginia Tech missed. And now the Hokies
Timeout. Virginia Tech
will take a timeout to try to ice the Michigan kicker.
This overtime period.
And that's their 1 timeout.
30-second timeout.
In overtime. The anguish on the face of Danny Cole, who thought he had a touchdown catch.
Yeah.
Justin Meyer,
I thought he did
kicked
too.
beautifully tonight.
Really
I did too. And now you go through spring practice, you hit the summer workouts in August, you go through the regular season of the ACC and the Big Ten in these 2 teams' cases, and then you come to bowl week. You work out for 4 more weeks. You come to have a good time, but it's a business trip. You want to win. Michigan with a 37-yard field goal in overtime to win. Gibbons, kick on the way, and it is perfect. Wolverines in overtime. The All-State Sugar Bowl champion. (23-20) in overtime, and the Michigan Wolverines, for only the 5th time in school history, have won 11 games. And Brady Hoke gets a nice cold bath. Here's the kick that won it. Wow, had a little misstep, regained his footing, and drills it. And Denard Robinson, who had 2 touchdown passes tonight, a happy quarterback. And Brendan Gibbons knew as soon as he hit it that he had it. And Justin Meyer can only look on and think of what could have been. Holly with a winning coach.
Coach, how do you describe winning the Sugar Bowl in your first season at Michigan?
Well, you know, those seniors and those kids on both teams played their hearts out, and that's what makes football so fun in college football. And I'm so proud of our seniors and everything they've done for Michigan.
It was a redshirt sophomore, though, that was going out to kick that game winner. What was going through your mind?
He was going to make it. He's been great all year. You know, he has fought a lot of adversity from a year ago. He worked hard at it, and he's got a great attitude. I love him.
Your defense made such a transformation this year. How do you like it that they were able to win it for you tonight?
Well, you know, our kids, our coaches, I mean, our seniors on defense, Mike Martin played like an Iron Man tonight because we didn't have any other bodies, and he did a great job, but they all did.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Brady talking about Brendan Gibbons last year. He was 1 for 5 in field goal attempts. Tonight, 2 for 2 in the All-State Sugar Bowl.
Well, and you mentioned it on this game winner. A little bit of a false step. Regathered himself. Got his composure back. Good protection. And then nailed it.
.39 in regulation, 37-yard field goal in overtime. Holly with the winning kicker.
Well, Brendan, you see your fellow kicker from Virginia Tech miss one. What was going through your mind as you took the field for your attempt?
I know Coach Hogan's going to put it in my foot to kick the field goal to win it, and I'm glad he did, and I just wanted to prove it to the one team I can do for him.
You had a little stutter step on that kick, though. Describe how it was able to go through.
I've been doing that actually all day, and I don't know why a little timing was off, but we made it happen and made all our field goals today, which is good.
How do you describe as a sophomore the feeling that you have sending your seniors out after everything they've been through with a win like this?
It feels really good. You know, everything we do as a team, it's always as a team, so it feels good.
Well, you won as a team tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michigan wins despite gaining just 184 yards of offense tonight, but they came up with some huge plays. Virginia Tech had several miscues in special teams. They had a roughing the punter penalty. They fumbled a kickoff return. They failed on a fake punt, and they missed a field goal in overtime. Beamer ball is normally perfect. Tonight it wasn't. And that's what cost the Hokies. And Michigan wins it as we take a look at our All-State good hands play of the game. Junior Hemingway, 2 touchdown catches. That one was a beauty in the back of the end zone from Denard Robinson. Those 2 touchdowns, and then the 2 field goals by Brendan Gibbons, including the last one in overtime. And the Michigan Wolverines are 11-2 and All-State Sugar Bowl champions. Ford BCS postgame show is coming up next. A thriller here in New Orleans at the Superdome. And in overtime, Wolverines win it 23-20.
This postgame report is brought to you by the Ford F-150. Available with the efficiency and power of EcoBoost.
Welcome back to New Orleans. You're watching the Ford BCS post-game show as we take you down to the field. A happy group of Wolverines and a trophy presentation with our man Chris Fowler. Chris.
Brad, thank you. Well, folks, we witnessed some great drama here, and now the Michigan Wolverines have stormed the stage. Time to present the trophies. The president of the All-State Sugar Bowl, Judge Lance Afric.
On behalf of the Sugar Bowl Committee, we're proud to recognize the University of Michigan Wolverines and Big Ten Coach of the Year, Brady Hoke, as the 2012 All-State Sugar Bowl champions. Congratulations to your fans, university, faculty. Congratulations, Coach. You made us proud.
Judge, thank you very much. And now to present the trophy to Coach Hoke, Tom Wilson, the president and the chairman of our title sponsor, Allstate.
Coach Hoke, congratulations on a great game on behalf of Allstate. And as a Michigan alumnus, I couldn't be happier to be here. You know, your team showed hard work, passion, and they believed in themselves. So when you lift this trophy tonight, know we believe in you. You created great memories for America tonight. Congratulations, and go blue!
Tom, thank you. Coach, this is very heavy, but you can take the cup off the top if you'd like. As this maize-colored confetti falls around you, Brady, this is Michigan Team 132. What does it mean to get back to the BCS and win the All-State Sugar Bowl?
Well, I can tell you, for our seniors and how hard they've worked for us all year and their leadership that they showed all year, it's a lot of fun, and they're great kids.
Drama right down to the final couple of plays. What was your reaction when they initially ruled it a Virginia Tech touchdown in overtime?
Well, you know, I thought it was good, so when they said it wasn't, I was a happy man.
Coach, congratulations. What a way to cap off your first season in Michigan. This is the third coach to win a BCS Bowl in year one.
Thank you very much, Coach.
And now to present the trophy to the most outstanding player, the chairman of the All-State Sugar Bowl Executive Committee, Richard Smith. Richard.
The All-State Sugar Bowl is excited to award its most outstanding player to Junior Hemingway of Michigan.
Junior, congratulations. At times, it was a frustrating night for the Michigan offense, but you made 2 circus catches. Take us through those.
Oh, man, the play was called. The play was called, and, you know, Denard put the ball in the air. Denard just put the ball in the air. You know, all the receivers, we work on it all the time. We just go up and get the ball and make plays when plays need to be made.
What does it say about the veterans on this team who have been through so much? 3 different coaching regimes, a lot of dark times, missing out on bowl games to finish this season this way.
You know, it shows our fight. It shows our determination. It shows everything we've been through, because we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. We've been through so much. Nobody understands that. But to come out here and win this bowl game today, with these people I worked hard with from day one, feels so good. And nothing like it.
There's tears rolling down your cheeks, and I can hear the emotion in your voice. It's hard to put into words, isn't it?
Man, it's too hard, man. It shows our hard work. It shows everything we put in from day one, all the long days, long nights, man. I'm telling you, it feels too good, man, too good.
I'll tell you what, it's a collective effort, a collective celebration, and for Mr. Hemingway, before the sun rises here in New Orleans, it'll be a big maize and blue party. Congratulations to all the Michigan Wolverines, champions of the All-State Sugar Bowl. Brad, back to you guys.
All right, Chris, fitting that someone named Hemingway could write a chapter this good for the Wolverines, huh? A kicker named Gibbons, who hit 1 field goal all of last year, picked a perfect time to hit 2 big ones tonight in New Orleans, including the 37-yarder that gave his coach the victory, the bath, the happiness, and unfortunately for the Hokies, the sadness on the other sideline. Michigan 23-20, winners in overtime, and the maize and blue celebrating in the Crescent City.